MVP and start the following season with a new team. Another running back was tagged, though, Breece Hall. The Jets hope to work out a long-term deal with their starter by the July deadline.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
The NFL's franchise tag deadline is today, and the Seahawks are not using it. So that means that Ken Walker is going to become a free agent, that report from ESPN's Adam Schefter, and could become just the fourth player ever to win Super Bowl MVP and start the following year with a new team. It's not guaranteed that he goes to another team, obviously, but Bump, you've been talking about it for a while. It's feeling increasingly likely that we will not see Ken Walker with the Seahawks in 2026.
No, I mean, them not franchise tagging him doesn't mean they're not trying to work on something.
Sure.
The franchise tag just holds them, say, hey, stay put for a second. Let us try to figure something out. If not, then we'll just you'll play on this tag here. No, they could still be talking, but you're right. It does kind of push you towards the direction of believing that, he's probably not going to be on this squad, because what is he going to ask for? He's going to ask 10, 11, 12, something around there. And he should ask for that, man. Super Bowl MVP. Was arguably one of the best running backs the last month of the season. This is just the cost of doing business. So, no, I'm still on the boat of he's not going to be here.
Yeah, thank you, Ken Walker, for giving the Seahawks your very best performance, over 300 yards in 3 games when they needed it most. That also means that you can push for a number that is too hard to stomach for them. That could even be greater than the $14 million on the tag. This from Joel Corey.
Seattle's got a ton of cap room, so if they wanted to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, they could stick a franchise tag on him, but that's going to be north of $14 million. He might be looking for that more than that anyway as a target. Getting it is maybe a different story, but really you got one guy in the division that's a comp in Kyron Williams, signed for $33 million over 3 years, $11 million per year last preseason.
They didn't. They did not use that franchise tag. I know that some fans were calling for it. Hey, tag and trade, or tag and work on a long-term deal, or just do something to just keep him here while you figure it out. Because, look, you've got 2 backups, George Holani and Kenny McIntosh. Kenny McIntosh, who didn't play at all in 2025, who just aren't as experienced. Zach Charbonnet is going to miss a chunk of this season coming back from a torn ACL. You don't have a lot of answers there. You have very serious depth concerns at running back. Just tag him and hang on to him. So that's not going to happen. That's the news today. So what now?
I don't think this is the truth, but what if they think George Holani is that next guy? What if they think Kenny McIntosh is the next guy? I don't think this is true, but you never really know. Like Thomas Rawls was the guy, and he gave them a little something years ago and made them believe. I don't think that's it, but I'm going to leave it open for just a possibility, because you just don't know. Because how are they looking at this draft? There's Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame, his teammate Price, then everybody else. Do they look at this offense as an offense you can grab a guy in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round and plug him in and get ready to go? Are they looking at Etienne Algier and whoever else is out there, a veteran, and say, all right, let's get these guys going? Who knows what they're thinking? But one thing I'm pretty sure that they're thinking is that we're not going to pay Ken Walker $14 million a year.
And I don't blame them for that. I really don't. If we were talking about, 7, 8, 9 or whatever, pushing 10, you're like, well, look, man, you aren't guaranteed to replace that production. And I'm not a fan of replacement with the aggregate. Like the idea of, if 2 backups get each 400 yards, that's the same as an 900 yard halfback. No, it's not. Are 3 wide receivers together in the aggregate the same as JSN? This isn't me comparing Walker and JSN. This is me saying that, like, just adding together stats that, like, a group of players can give you does not replace what a starter can give you. There is not a running back on this roster that has Ken Walker's explosiveness. Now, I happen to think that it's kind of this, like, romantic idea to just assume that I'm not, like, hating on any listener who feels this way, but if you're someone who thinks, hey, I truly believe that George Holani could be the second coming of Marshawn Lynch, and I think that fantastic. Like, I hope you're right, because he's under contract and cheap, and that would be amazing. I tend to think, bluntly, that it's kind of romantic to assume so. I think they need to add someone, whether that's a free agent
I think
So
everyone
be it.
thinks that, though, right? Who's sitting there saying,
You
hey,
would
we
be
good?
Bump. You see those texts. You see texts from people going, "We've got Halani and McIntosh. We've got these good guys. Trust John Schneider. They can get it done." Like, no, I do not feel good starting this season without signing a free agent running back. If you're not re-signing Ken Walker, then you need to go get Dowdle, or you need to go get someone else. You're not going to get Breece Hall. He was tagged today, but like, you need to go find someone else. I think it would be a mistake to just look at your backups and think, "Oh, you had a committee last year. Why not do the same thing?" Well, why weren't they your starters last year?
Yeah, I don't think they think that. I threw it out there just as a possibility, but I think it would be really irresponsible to think that we don't need to add anyone for competition. Like, you're looking at adding someone to push for that number one spot. If you're not looking to add somebody for cushion, right? I feel like Halani and McIntosh, they are the cushion. You're looking for someone to compete for that number one spot. If you don't work out a deal with Ken Walker, they could miraculously work something out. Ken Walker could say, you know what? I'm looking at all these other options. Yes, they offer me more money, but I want to stay here. I wouldn't advise that. I'd say, Ken Walker, you're a running back. Your shelf life isn't very long. You go out there and get as much money as you can, because when you're done, you are done in this league. So, yeah, they need to go find somebody, a free agent. In perfect world, get a free agent that has been proven in this league, and then go draft yourself a running back. You got 4 horses in the stable. Let's go work.
Let's talk about the draft class. This was Nick Baumgardner with Wyman and Bob the other day.
Jeremiah Love might be the number one player in the class. I mean, period. Like, regardless of position, he's that talented. And the weird part here is his backup at Notre Dame, Jadarian Price, is probably also a top 70, top 60 player. He'll probably go off the board by the end of, I would say, the second round. Emmett Johnson from Nebraska was another super productive back who catches the ball a lot. Wiggly, gets a lot of yards after catch, kind of perfect for modern offense. And then also I loved Mike Washington, who's about 6 foot 228, somewhere in there, 225, 228, ran a 4.34 somewhere in there, jumped through the roof, was the fastest player on the field, I believe, at the Senior Bowl as well. I thought he was the best running back there. He has really improved his stock as well. So those 4 guys, and maybe even Demond Claiborne from Wake Forest, are guys who I think could walk in the door and not carry a load or be like, you know, what Kenneth Walker was, but like walk in the door and be a credible hand, be a good player behind a good offensive line. You might need to upgrade at another area, or maybe if you're Seattle, you lean more on Charbonnet, whatever it might be. But you're going to get a good back if you invest in it either by the end of the 3rd round, maybe even the 4th round.
Okay, so find that guy late. Sure, as a reminder, you have 4 draft picks. I think that they'll flip that and try to get a few more. It's just kind of John Schneider's approach to the class.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel comfortable with the lack of depth at running back. I am not screaming from the mountaintop that you need to spend $14 million on Ken Walker. What I am saying is Ken Walker's very talented, that losing him is a gamble, and that there is no easy solution for replacing him. That's all I'm saying. Does it mean that you can't? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You could hit in the draft. You could sign Dowdle or Algier or whoever else, ETN Jr., someone else to come in here, and maybe he looks phenomenal and you solve it all and whatever. But, like, I am nervous about the lack of running back depth. I am nervous about what it means not to bring back Ken Walker. And with Adam Schefter's news this morning and with each day that passes, that certainly feels incredibly likely.
It ain't going down. Ken's gone. He's out. The 3 names or 4 names that we've been throwing around when it comes to free agency, you said Dowdle, Algier, ETN. Maybe there's one other in there that I'm missing. But when I do look at this draft, here's what working for the Pac-12/CW has done for me this year. It has introduced me to a different world of football, of ACC football, right? No one thinks about ACC. It's all about basketball. But ACC, the Pac-12, and a little bit of the Big 12 I've been looking at. And if I'm going to think of these guys getting a guy late in the draft, right, maybe a 4th or 5th rounder, there are a couple of names that I think can hop into this system and go. The one guy I really like, and I encourage everyone to look at his film, is Demond Claiborne out of Wake Forest. Obviously, with Coach Dicker being there from Wazoo, my eyes are on Wake Forest a bit more. This young man can play. You got Jamari Taylor out of Virginia as well. Like, there are Jaden Ott, who was at Cal, now he's at Oklahoma. There are some guys out there that have that Ken Walker type of potential. Like, you see the ability, but if they all put it together, they can be explosive guys. There's just this draft class just isn't full with superstars. Mm-hmm. And I don't think in this offense you need a superstar running back. Ken Walker's not a superstar, right? Mm-hmm. I think he has great potential even now, but he's not a superstar.
agree.
So I think there's a way to add to this roster at the running back spot and still get the production that you got last year. What do you have? One running back over 1,000 yards, another one around, 600 yards, something like that? Now you need your workhorse in the red zone to get you those 12 touchdowns that Zach Charbonnet got you. But there is a way. I don't think Ken Walker is irreplaceable, but it's definitely easier just to keep him.
I'm definitely not arguing he's irreplaceable. What I'm saying is he's not as easily replaceable as I think some people assume. I think some people look at Ken Walker and go, I was frustrated with him all season long. He keeps getting hurt. Like, they're kind of simplifying what his career has been in Seattle. And to me, that's irksome. Yeah. I'm not saying spend a ton of money. You can't replace Ken Walker. It's a really intriguing market, actually. I mean, take a listen to Ian Rappaport.
Almost never, it feels like, do we have this many good, productive, young running backs who are set to make some money. And the Javonte Williams deal really set it up to where it feels like $8 million plus is probably the market here. For instance, if David Montgomery gets a new deal, I would imagine he kind of comes in around there. You have teams like Denver Broncos, Seattle if they lose Ken Walker, perhaps the Kansas City Chiefs, perhaps the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have several teams that need a running back and want to go into the draft saying, we don't have a gaping hole. These guys are going to get paid in a way that we haven't seen in some time. And at the least, Mike, we're going to rebuild the running back market probably where it should be.
Intriguing market. All I'm saying, my entire point today is saying, if you don't want to keep Ken Walker, fine, but don't rest on your laurels and think that you've got answers just because this team has been so great with drafting and developing. That doesn't mean that you've secretly got this phenomenal answer in-house that just hasn't blossomed yet. You need to actively go find that replacement.
Yeah, I think that's a given. I think
I don't think so.
You don't think it's a given
Not
that
based on what I'm
they're
saying.
going to look for.
I've gotten already the text I've gotten today. Cam Akers has a high ceiling.
Not those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are silly sometimes. I'm talking about John Schneider and Mike McDonald.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think they're going to
for sure.
look.
So you're just talking to the
I'm
people
talking
who
to
think that
listeners.
they don't need anything. Okay.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
I don't think John Schneider's thinking that Cam Akers is going to be their starter.
For sure. And if you think that they're looking at this room and saying we have enough, then I would just encourage you. Look, and this is the hard part of what I do because I was a player. I was that bubble player. I was a guy who snuck into the league. I was a guy who wasn't good enough to be in the league for multiple contracts. So me critiquing young men who are in there and doing it sometimes is rough, but I know what I'm looking at. I've been watching this game for like 25 years, right? And Halani don't have what K9 has. Kenny don't have what K9 has. Together, I think if you put Halani and K9 together, that'd be a heck of a running back. But K9, let me remind you, had the third most explosive runs in the NFL this year. The third most, 20-plus runs. K9 and Zach Charbonnet together, out of the top combos in the league, made the most or created the most missed tackles, third most missed tackles in the game. Right, and that's hard to do. You're talking about the most athletic humans in the world, I think, are on defense. Those edge rushers, those linebackers, and they're making these guys miss. You're not just going to find that guy that easily. You got to go out and pay for it in free agency, and you got to hit when it comes to this draft.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to Halani and McIntosh. I think they'll be in this league for a while, but they're just not K9.
Yeah, and again, it's not meant to be disrespectful. Someone said, after being worried about wide receivers last year, Stacy being worried about running backs actually makes me confident in whatever Seattle does at the position. First of all,
what does that even mean? What is he saying?
After week 1, when JSN had like 123 yards or 124 yards or whatever it was, and no one else did much of anything, I said, I'm a little worried about wide receiver depth. I ended up letting it go. Okay. I let it go over the course of the season where I was like, look, it's not ending up mattering. Mm-hmm. But I am still correct. They did not have a ton of depth behind JSN that ended up closing that gap. John Schneider traded for a wide receiver at the deadline. Like, John Schneider also thought that they could use a speedy receiver, and that would be really intriguing. It just didn't end up mattering at all.
No.
That's where I ended up being wrong, is that it would matter. It didn't at all. JSN and this offense and this defense were that good that the gap between your wide receiver one and the rest of the group didn't matter at all. I wasn't wrong.
No one thought JSN was going to be the offensive player of the year. At the beginning of the season, no one thought he was going to be the offensive player of the year.
Well, and I think you can say the same thing about this running back group. Like, maybe they end up being just fine. Mm-hmm. Okay. But today, on March 3rd, 2026, at 10:15 in the morning, I'm worried about running back depth.
Yeah, should be. It's only 2 on the roster right now, honestly. I mean, Charbonnet's there, but we know he's not going to be available until mid-season.
And why are we assuming that Kenny McIntosh, after not playing at all this past season, is just going to hit the ground running, no pun intended? I have been one of those people, along with you, who have wondered, like, why haven't we seen more of Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
It would be really intriguing to see more of Kenny, but I'm not counting on him.
I felt like he was on his way this year. Before in training camp, he was getting a bit more reps, and then it is unfortunate. But now, I mean, you can't depend on someone who's been banged up without them having years of showing you that they can do it in this league. So that's what's going to be tough for Kenny. Hopefully he surprises all of us, and he is a guy.
That.
I would love it, but you can't depend on that. You got to go get some help.
Exactly. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, Headline rewrites.
Must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number 1, Cal Raleigh, fresh off of a 60 home run season, is hitting 6th in Team USA's lineup in their tune-up against the Giants today. What's the real headline?
Considering Kyle Schwarber is hitting cleanup, I don't think you should be offended. Is anyone actually offended that Cal Raleigh is hitting 6th? Who's bothered by this?
I mean,
look at your lineup.
That's true.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge
Yeah.
is in the
Bryce
3
Harper,
spot.
Alex
What
Bregman,
what
Bobby
are we
Witt Jr.
complaining about? I know that, he led the league in home runs and we all love him, but is anyone sincerely offended by this?
No.
I think you're soft if you are.
Nah. It's more.
Unless it's a Cal can be offended, I guess.
Nah, it's more just, you have that parent complex. Well, a lot of parents have. I do not have this complex. But when you think your son or your daughter should be somewhere that they really aren't.
Oh, I do that with Lukey.
Yeah, so you feel it then, right?
Yeah.
That's all that is. But then you sit back, you look at the lineup, you think about it, and you say, all right, it's actually okay. He'll be fine in that spot.
I think all I want is, because those dang New York Yankee fans, it's like even with something like the WBC, are still going to be trying to like pile on Cal Raleigh. All I want is for Cal to have a good stretch of play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to look good. Like, I don't care where he's hitting. To get a home run, not have a pass ball. Like, just to look good would be cool. Fantastic.
This
Don't
might
give
be,
anyone ammo.
This might be so refreshing for Kyle. Like, there's no pressure on him right now. You just take care of the rotation. Be good behind the plate. If you hit a few bombs, you hit a few bombs. All right, look, you got all these ballers on your team. He's responsible for a moment or two. With us, it was like, Kyle, if you don't do it, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So this has to be kind of refreshing for Kyle, too.
You know what I'm a little curious about? We always hear that Cal is kind of a control freak, and he can be because he's got the trust of the pitching staff here in Seattle, and he's older than a good chunk of them. Outside of Luis Castillo, he's the same class as Logan, but otherwise, like, all of these guys have had to turn to Cal as, like, Cal's the boss and Cal's in charge. What's that look like with pitchers, like when you're working with Clayton Kershaw, or I know Paul Skeens is younger, but just in a completely different stratosphere? Like, what's it look like? Do even star pitchers know to just absolutely defer to a catcher, or are they going to be like, yo, this is the WBC, man. Like, I want to do this.
I think it's more collaborative at this level.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it looks like.
This level, Skeens is like, all right, brother, you see what I got. Let's come together on this group project.
Headline rewrites.
I knew someone would text him Dookie.
Or that's Duke. Or maybe, is this Dookie?
You guys started something.
But that's
really
a cute
upset.
name, Lil Dookie.
You guys are bullies. I want you to
Lil
know that.
Dookie.
You guys are bullies.
You know in the hood, like you give like the opposite name.
Uh-huh.
Or you make fun a little bit. Like big guy you call Shorty. Little guy you call Big Dog.
Yeah.
And Lukey you call Dookie.
Lukey you call Dookie.
Yeah.
Someone's just going to yell at him when I'm walking down the street, Dookie, in a car that goes by.
Headline number 2, Jeremy Fowler reports Jake Bobo will not be tendered. That makes him an unrestricted free agent. What's the real headline?
Are we going to have more Bobo? We've been calling for it forever. I don't know if we're going to have more Bobo.
This Bobo's a tricky one because he's made some big plays while he's been here, right? Was it against the Rams, that touchdown against the Rams to start the season? I think Jason's rookie year, Bobo had 2 touchdowns before Jason had a touchdown. He's been a contributor on special teams. I see him as one of those guys who's going to float around the league for about 7-8 years and find some value. He's more of a red zone target than middle of the field target because he's not super fast. My man ran like a 4.9 or a 5 something 40. But he's a decent all around football player. But I think you can't upgrade just by picking up someone in the draft. So Bobo, I would love for you to be here. If not, man, I appreciate you, dog.
I will say that as that part of that interview with Pardon My Take the other day, they actually talked about Jake Bobo because Jake Bobo won one of them like $30,000 or something. He bet on, I don't know if it was an anytime touchdown, but that Jake Bobo would be one of them. Jake Bobo gets the touchdown and it like entirely paid
That was the Rams game?
Yeah, and it entirely paid for like this guy's wedding. And so they had Jake Bobo on and he was like, I'm going to name my son Jake Bobo. Like, thank you so much. This is absolutely amazing. But so they really like him. So they brought it up in that interview with Mike McDonald. They were like, we love this guy. He's amazing. We told him he should be like a wide receiver diva. And Mike McDonald was like clearly a fan of Jake Bobo.
Yeah.
Had nothing but good things to say about Jake Bobo. I'm just you get this team even more than I do. Like you get the impression that they love this guy.
Everybody loves Bobo.
Everyone loves Bobo.
Everyone loves Bobo.
I wonder if they work something out.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, the Atlanta Falcons will be the home team for the NFL's Madrid game in 2026, meaning the Seahawks will not be traveling to Spain. What's the real headline?
And to Bump, we say, Lo siento.
Lo siento.
For
Lo
real,
siento.
man. Come on, dude.
I know.
Give me something.
You keep having, like, what's it called? Like, just things falling off where it's like, okay, that's not an option.
All right,
That's
so
not an
Melbourne's
option.
gone. Madrid is gone.
You're not going to
is Paris
Ireland.
gone?
Paris is gone.
Yeah, they're gone. The only options left are Mexico City and London.
Those are your only 2 choices where the Seahawks could go.
I'd rather go to London. I've been to Mexico a bunch of times.
Have you been to Mexico City?
No, but I've been to Mexico.
Mexico City, I think, is a lot different than Cabo.
Yeah, I know, but I want to go. I want to fly across the water. You know what I mean?
Haven't you been to London?
Yeah, I've been to London, but I was like 15.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't an adult.
I think Mexico City could be more.
Here's the thing about Mexico City. I feel like we will be restricted more in Mexico City. You can't go here. You can't do this. You can't do that. In London, they're just going to let us go.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Okay, so you want to be able to go
I want
explore.
the freedom. Yeah.
You want to go on a double-decker bus.
I want to do all the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair.
And I got old teammates in London from when I was in my soccer days. So
Yeah.
we're 2 for 1.
Okay. Well, I hope that ends up
Play
happening.
some darts.
Play some darts.
Yeah.
For
Who
real.
would be the Mexico City team? The Commanders would be
the
in London.
49ers.
49ers would be in Mexico City.
Yeah.
That could alter it too, because 49ers in
Yeah.
Mexico City versus the Commanders in London. You don't even. You just want to go to London.
I mean, listen, I will travel wherever they tell me to go.
Yeah.
If they want my input, send us to London.
That's fair. What gives you, listener, and also us, the most confidence in the Mariners surpassing their 2025 win total? That's next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
John, looking at this Mariner team, who's the biggest competition in the American League?
Good question. I'll say this. There's no team in the American League whose chances to reach the World Series I like better than those of the Seattle Mariners. When you look at even just today, the way the lineup looks, Donovan, then Cal, then J-Rod, then Naylor.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, seattlegolfshow.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
PettergasLaw.com.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What's the most shameless thing that you guys have done? Like for instance, I went to an open house. I'm moving, so it was this apartment showing. And when I moved in, they had
You ain't moved yet?
I'm moving this weekend.
Man.
I've told you that.
Nah,
I'm not here
you
Friday.
took 2
You
days
guys
last
never
week. What the
listened
heck
to
was
me.
you doing?
I was on a family
Thought you was
vacation.
moving.
Oh my God.
Man.
So there were 6 Hershey's Kisses on the counter. So I obviously scooped them all into my purse. Okay. And then I left.
And they were meant for multiple people?
No.
For sure.
First of all, fair question. That's ridiculous. That's a one-person serving. No, they were meant for me because I moved in and they were like, thank you. So it was the 6 Hershey's Kisses. So I scooped them all into my bag. So because I'm moving, I've cleared out my fridge and I'm just eating like random snacks in my house to get rid of it. But like, I'm not paying attention to what I'm eating. So I'm getting hungry later. And this is like midnight last night. I can't sleep because I was up packing, but I'm finally laying in bed and it's dark. And I remember I have those Hershey's Kisses. So I reach into my bag and I'm scrummaging around for them. And I stab my hand with these tweezers, these really sharp tweezers, looking for these Hershey's Kisses. And now I'm bleeding. I find them, though, and I take them out and I eat them and I went to bed. Have you guys ever done anything like that where you're like, yeah, I forgot that I put a pizza in my side table, my nightstand, so I opened it up and I ate it?
No, I've done that
Last
with
shameless thing you did.
like a burrito.
What?
Because I have
What?
in my room.
Where are you stashing a burrito?
In my room, I have like TV and a desk and stuff, so I'll sit down and I'll work in my room sometimes, and I'll eat, and I'll put a burrito down. And it was one of these weekends, your boy was in the streets. For me, in the streets is like Whittenville Bar, right?
Okay.
And I get home, and I lay down, and I just look to the side, and there's a burrito from like 5 hours ago. I go, yeah. I'm tearing that thing up.
It was magic.
It was beautiful. It was so clutch. It was like the universe said, I got you.
You know what I mean? Those moments where it's like you open up some kind of drawer, you look in your fridge, and you go, I forgot about that. And then it's shameless. It's always shameless because usually you've hurt yourself or you're not getting out of bed or... I was just wondering if you
sounds
guys
like
had similar
kids whenever they leave something in their car seat.
That's exactly what this was.
It's like, what are you eating? Like, we didn't take any food with us.
That was me with those Hershey's
French
Kisses.
fry?
Yeah.
Like, how long has that fry been there?
Who
I
can
don't
say?
know.
Not my business, but it's mine. It was mine. What gives you guys the most confidence in the Mariners surpassing?
That's your segue to this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Surpassing. Well, no, I went to the bathroom during the break and I was looking at my hand where I have this like cut now from stabbing my hand. And I was like, I can't believe that at midnight, I was leaning over my bed, rummaging around in this messy bag for like 4 Hershey's Kisses. It's just shameful.
I like it.
Thank you. What gives you the most confidence the Mariners can surpass their win total? When I think of some of the best moments, I think of like Victor Robles' catch. And I'm like, okay, I need to think of something that isn't luck, something to give me real confidence that they can be even better this year. What do you have?
Our best player, our player with the highest ceiling is still getting better and still growing in Julio. He's considered, according to Buster Only, the best center fielder in the game, 24, 25 years of age. We know these guys don't hit their prime until, 28, 29, 30, something like that, depending on who you are. That gives me confidence. I don't think they're going to surpass it by, like, 10 games, something like that. What, they win 90 last year? And 90 is a good number. 90 typically should get you into the postseason, but it's the growth of Julio, I think. The potential of him coming out and not looking sluggish the first month of the season. I think that even when I talk to him, I never talk to him. When I listen to him speak, he just sounds different. He sounds a bit more mature. He sounds like he's always sounded locked in, right? But he doesn't have that youthful giddiness anymore, which is cool.
But you forget
Loved
how
it for
young he
Julio.
was.
Yeah, I loved it for him.
Yeah.
GQ, Sports Illustrated,
Love it.
doing all this stuff. And when you're young, you allow yourself to be pulled in all these directions, right? It's good for your brand. You build your brand. I'm sure your agent is saying, like, you got to do all this stuff and get your name out there. Now he's like, all right, man, I'm established in this league. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I can say no to whatever I want to. I didn't go to the All-Star game last year because I wanted to lock in on what I was doing. I would assume this offseason he did a lot of the same things that he did, but with that maturity, you figure out what your body needs to get going physically and mentally. So that's why one of the reasons why I think that they can do it.
I like that answer. Your best, most talented player in terms of just pure raw talent is still entering into his prime.
Yep.
Great reason. Curtis, how about you? A reason to think that a real reason to believe the Mariners can improve in 2026 from last year?
Biggest reason for me, I think, is just kind of where they're starting out at in terms of their lineup heading into the season compared to where they were at the start of 2025, where last year you had Ryan Bliss at second base. You had Jorge Polanco, the 2024 version of Jorge Polanco. We didn't know what kind of season Polanco was going to have. And then obviously he outperformed those expectations, but we didn't know that was the kind of season that Polanco was going to have. We were all still kind of like, this guy, really? But now you've got Josh Naylor at first base, who's an upgrade over who you had at first base last year with like Rowdy Tellez. Remember him? You've got Brendan Donovan in your infield, who kind of takes over for Jorge Polanco. You've got J.P. Crawford already there. I mean, your biggest question mark in your lineup right now is what? Cole Young?
Yeah.
Maybe? Or whoever you're going to play out in right field. And it's not like Canzone and Robles and Raley are bad options out there by any stretch of the imagination. I think all three of them are major league players. So I think you're starting from a point that is much further along than where you were opening day 2025.
I agree. I'm sounding a bit like an echo chamber and echoing kind of the strength of the lineup, but I'm going to look at Naylor also, just in particular, a full season of that. And I'm going to look at like kind of the off the field stuff too. So the intangibles of Naylor being on your team in that clubhouse for a full season, and also having been there before. I don't know about you guys, but as someone who had, all of us, had never seen the Mariners get that far, it's one thing to say this is the goal, and it's another to know what that feels like and then have that be the expectation the following year. So this team had their hearts broken, yes, but also knew that they could get there. There's experience. There's an actual memory that they have of like, we knew that we were good enough to get here. And we fell just short, and it was heartbreaking, and there were tears in the clubhouse. But to actually go there, not to a World Series, unfortunately, but to actually go there makes it feel more real. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but it's hard for me to believe, they can totally do this when you just hear it over and over and over with no actual appearance there. You went to Game 7 of the ALCS.
Yeah.
8 outs away.
Mm-hmm. No, it's I needed to see it. I needed to see them beat the Rams. I needed to see Sam Darnold not turn the football over and throw for 300 yards. There's some things that you have to see, and it makes you believe a bit more. That's all last year did. It was like, all right, we saw it now. We saw them battle. We saw the rotation fight through some injuries. We saw Josh Naylor have some clutch moments and kind of hop into this team and fit right in and change things. We saw Julio have his moments. There's a lot more for us to build off of. 3 or 4 years ago when we were talking about this team and the potential of it, it wasn't real because we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So because we've watched the games, we've been to the games, we've seen these performances, and we're looking at what else is around this division, and you're saying, well, Houston didn't do much. They're still going to be around. It's way more believable now.
Yeah, it's just there's something about having been there that adds to the belief, which is ironic because they didn't make it.
Yeah.
In theory, you'd think it should be more crushing, but instead it's added to my belief that they can actually do it. So I think that there are both baseball reasons and these kind of intangible reasons to believe that the Mariners can be even better in 2026, which is a great place to be. Someone said I'm getting fired up just listening to this segment. I can't wait for the season to start.
Come on. We'll be at like 20 days, something like that?
Yeah, and then what's going to happen is on March 27th, when we come in to talk about the game, we're going to have to temper all of our reactions to where we don't say too much, because even though we're so excited for the start of the season, then you have to go, well, it's just one game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to start all over again.
Game 8.
Also, apologies to the text line who has pointed out that I said scrummaging, and I'm not sure.
How'd you use it?
Scrummaging
going through
around.
A purse,
yeah, going through my purse. Rummaging and scrambling.
Okay.
Were combined.
That's fair.
On accident, but I'm going to pretend it was
makes complete sense,
right?
though.
I didn't think anything of it when I said it.
Nah, sounds
I thought
good to me.
My vocabulary is phenomenal.
Scrummaging. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, scrummaging around is where you're rummaging around, but even more messily.
I like it.
We're inventing all kinds of words.
Without a plan.
No plan at all. All right, K9 certainly looks like he's gone, but what's Seattle losing? That's next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better.
Fastball, strike 3 called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
Goodbye, baseball!
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
What's up, it's Bump, and when I see daylight savings time on the calendar, I think of one thing. It's golf season, and if you're like me, more daylight means more time on the links. I know a lot of you guys listening are counting down the work week until your tee time this weekend. I have a course for you to try. It's Loomis Trails in Blaine. It's a hidden gem. It's ranked top 15 in the state by Golf Digest. It's challenging, it's fun, and it's worth the trip. And while you're there, make a weekend out of it and stay at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Unwind in a deluxe room. Grab a bite in one of their many restaurants. I prefer Steakhouse and the Cantina. You got wall-to-wall sports where you can watch every single basketball game in March and have a lot of fun doing it. You can even get something special for your partner, man. Go to the spa. Nice packages there. I've done it. It's awesome. Silver Reef Casino Resort. Head north on I-5 exit 260. I love it there. You're missing out if you've never been. If you've been there, get down there this weekend. You know what to do. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. That's silverreefcasino.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. We now have over 500 five-star online reviews. Bradley Johnson helped me out of a very difficult situation. Their professionalism and knowledge resulted in an outcome I wouldn't have thought possible. They were steady and reassuring, taking time to explain things clearly. They never rushed me, even when I had a million questions. In the end, they found a resolution I'm grateful for. They were a pleasure to work with. I was impressed with their knowledge and skill, ultimately winning my case. 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or Google us to schedule your free private consultation. 5 stars means achieving your best possible outcome. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Join the Seattle Sports Commission for a star-studded fundraising event featuring the athletes and icons of Washington sports. Experience red carpet interviews, sports exhibits, a silent auction, and live awards show. Created for the sports community by the sports community, all while supporting the nonprofit power of Seattle sports. Don't miss your chance to be among the stars on March 13th at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year presented by Microsoft. Get your tickets now at seattlesports.org.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be 2. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know hope is within reach. Here's Brandon, a recent patient.
Going to sleep was challenging. Getting my brain to turn off was challenging. Just kind of getting through every day was a bit challenging. Like everything was a little too hard, a little too much resistance, and that just kind of evaporated. After the first few sessions of ketamine, it was noticeable. People remarked on it pretty quickly. I had done maybe 2 sessions, 3 sessions, and people started going, what are you doing differently? You look awesome. You just look like your skin is healthier and you look happier. To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things feel like they would vastly benefit from it. So go for it. That's what I say.
Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, NFL Network's Charles Davis gives us some updates from the Combine. Before we get to it, news this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter that on the franchise tag deadline, the Seahawks will not exercise that tag on K9. So Ken Walker hitting free agency, and it sure feels like heading elsewhere in 2026. Bump, what's Seattle losing if they lose Ken Walker?
Do you remember when, I forgot who it was against, maybe it was last year, K9's getting tackled, but he's not down, and he pretty much does a flip to get out of the tackle and picks up another 5 or 6 yards. You remember that? He's laying on the guy. His butt's not down. He literally pushes his feet and does a flip and rolls
like flip over the guy's back.
He stays up like they're both on the ground.
Yeah.
But he kind of flips his body over, gets him and gets another 3 or 4 yards. Do you remember the 60-yard run against, I think, Detroit one year he had? You remember him snatching ankles in the A-gap against the Rams this year?
Yes. Or a 50-plus yard touchdown against the Rams on Thursday night this year.
Well, I don't think people really understand how good Kenneth Walker's better than what his numbers say. And his numbers say 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. His numbers say he's averaging 4.6 per carry, which isn't bad. His numbers say that he has the 3rd most 20-plus yards run in the game this year. He's good, man. I don't think he's a top 5 back, but if he were to be in an offense to where he got 323 carries, 311 carries, 309, 307. That's what the top 4 guys in this league are getting, right? If he were in that offense, he's getting 221. So roughly 80-plus less carries because he's sharing with Charbonnet, obviously. I think he would be up around 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards. And I think that also because of his rookie year, then the 2 years after that, he got banged up. You know, people tend to think they give it that injury-prone tag and stop believing in you. I'm not saying to ignore that stuff, but he got 2 seasons out of those 4 where he was elite. I mean, I'm going to go back to, what was that, 2021? Was that his first year? 2021? Maybe it was 22. 22 and 3. Yeah, 22. 22. All right, let's go back to 2022. And I don't even know. I didn't even look at this. Let's see if all right, in 2022, guess what? The 2nd most explosive plays in the NFL when he's healthy. He's a good back. He's a good back. He does some things that a lot of running backs cannot do. So what are you losing? You're losing one of the most explosive backs in the game, one of the faster backs in the game, one of the stronger backs of the game, one of the most elusive backs in the game. And for some reason, a lot of people on the text line just don't see that. No disrespect to any other running back that's on this roster right now. They cannot do what K9 can do.
Why do you think people don't see it? I'm not saying everyone doesn't. There are certainly people who do. But for people who are like, I don't think they're losing anything. I think you can replace them, like whatever. Like, what aren't people getting then?
I think sometimes his want to make the big play results in negative plays, and people are going to highlight that. I think that a lot of people are just box score type of people who don't really watch the film. Like you watch the broadcast, which is fine, then you see the big plays or whatnot. But if you can watch the all 22 and understand the blocking schemes and then see how he sets things up or how he makes things better, then I think you'd have a better appreciation. But I think some of it just comes from people not really knowing what to look at. And you do look at the negative plays, and you can highlight that. A lot of running backs have negative plays, right? His gift and his curse is that he's capable of taking that thing 60 yards to the house at any moment, and he knows that. So at times he tries to make something out of nothing. And then when you start the season the way that he started, I believe he had a 100-yard game the second week or third week against Pittsburgh, and then kind of, fall off after that, but you just don't have the same type of production. And you're getting Zach Charbonnet, who gets the ball inside the 20 constantly. Naturally, your eyes are going to fall in love with the guy who's scoring more touchdowns and say, this guy can do it. I think Zach Charbonnet, if he were our lead guy and Ken Walker wasn't here, I think Zach could do it. But you're losing the big explosive plays. Zach is a good running back. He could be a starter in this league. But he can't do the stuff that K9 can do. I think K9 is capable of doing what Charbonnet can do.
Yeah, I think there are two things happening. All of that. I think there's a framing of Ken versus Zach that got kind of out of hand, where it was Zach's a physical, hard-nosed, hard worker, smart guy. And then because of that, the inverse suddenly became true for Ken Walker, even though it wasn't really fair. Suddenly, Ken Walker's finesse.
Yeah.
Ken Walker can't block. He's finesse, but he's he doesn't know how to read the a gap in the same way or find the hole. And it's is that always true? I think we're just kind of contrasting these two for no reason. They're part of a great committee and work well together. And the coaching staff clearly really loves Zach Charbonnet so much that we were wondering if Charbonnet would get more carries, but it doesn't mean that Walker is the opposite of everything Charbonnet is.
Yeah.
And you saw that, right? Charbonnet got hurt in the very beginning of that playoff game. You badly needed Ken Walker, and he gave you over 300 yards in 3 games.
When you needed him the most,
he showed up in
a
big way. So that's the first thing I think happened is there's just because of the framing of Charbonnet, the opposite became true for a lot of people for Walker, even when it wasn't fair. The second thing that's happening is that he was a great part of a committee, and it's tough to stomach paying a guy to be a Jonathan Taylor when he's more of David Montgomery.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. 253 says, the fact that there were discussions almost all season on whether K9 was even the best back on the team is why. I never thought K9 wasn't the best back on this team.
No.
Never. I think they leaned in to attributes. And if you want a guy who's just going to get forward and take 2 or 3 yards, Zach Charbonnet was your guy. Because Zach Charbonnet doesn't have the I'm going to snatch your ankles here, reverse field, and go get it, which it fit. And I'm sure that hurt K9 because he gets inside that 20, he knows he ain't getting that football. But guess what happened when Zach Charbonnet went down? K9 did exactly what he was supposed to do. But no, it was never a question for me who was the better back on the team.
Yeah.
But I understood why they were using Zach Charbonnet the way they were.
Last one here. Another texter, this of 425. Is the argument really if he's good or not? I feel like it's not. Ken's amazing. For me, it's just whether you can actually or should pay him. Great question, and I agree with you, 425. Bump, to me, the question is, what are you missing if Ken leaves, which is the first one I asked you, and can you replace it, right? It's not about, if you don't want to pay Ken Walker, let's say 14, okay. I don't think that's an irrational take.
No.
But how do you replace Ken Walker if he leaves, and what do you need to replace? First you have to establish the baseline. Well, what are you losing? Are you losing 900 yards, just that, or are you losing, as Bump said, a ton of explosiveness, right? You're losing real talent. So how do you replace it?
You get lucky, and you hope your evals are right. Before we get out of here, Kenneth Walker had more explosive runs than Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Etienne, Javonte Williams, Kyron Williams, Dowdle. All guys that we're hey, we take him.
Yeah.
And he had more explosive runs than them.
Got to replace that guy.
With at least 50 less carries in them.
If he leaves, you have to replace that. It's not going to be easy. We're going to spend plenty of days talking about doing it, though. Coming up next, NFL Network's Charles Davis.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
John, looking at this Mariner team, who's the biggest competition in the American League?
Good question. I'll say this. There's no team in the American League whose chances to reach the World Series I like better than those of the Seattle Mariners. When you look at even just today the way the lineup looks, Donovan, then Cal, then J-Rod, then Naylor.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and they got some great entertainment coming through, like Hinder on April 4th, Pop 2000 Tour in August, and then, yes, Queensryche in October. All the info at snocasino.com. And while you're there, you got to check out the Falls Buffet, serving up all your favorites, prime rib every day, fresh pasta, delicious stir-fry, pizzas, salad bar, dessert bar, the pies made every day. It is Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Worried about tariffs, imports, hidden fees on your trees? Relax. At Big Trees, the only thing growing faster than our trees is your relief, because trees don't come with tariffs. What you will find is a massive nursery open to the public with hundreds of locally grown trees ready for planting. Come visit our nursery today or online at bigtreesupply.com. That's bigtreesupply.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring, well, that's the perfect time to start planning your dream deck. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get you started with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. What does it mean? Well, it means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. Most people who start with a design package end up with the outdoor space they've always dreamed of. And this offer is your first step. Don't wait until summer and wish you had started the process sooner. Start it now. Do what Molly and I did some years ago. Contact PCF Construction Group today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. Go see my friends at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 8th at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Seahawks are not expected to franchise tag Ken Walker. Today is the deadline for doing that. That would make him potentially the fourth player ever to win Super Bowl MVP and start the following season with a new team. Another running back was tagged, though, Breece Hall. The Jets hope to work out a long-term deal with their starter by the July deadline.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. NFL Network's Charles Davis joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And Charles, we are going to start with one of our biggest stories today, which is, oh my God, is Ken Walker going to become the fourth Super Bowl MVP to start the next season with a new team? I think that fans here are reticent to spend a ton of money on Walker when so much of the year was spent wondering whether or not Charbonnet should get even more reps. What do you see as Seattle losing if he is to leave in free agency?
Well, you guys saw it during the playoffs. First of all, hello to you both. Hope you're well. You saw during the playoffs that, okay, no Charbonnet. You need someone to eat carries. Mm-hmm. And while his pass catching isn't Charbonnet's, it wasn't horrific by any stretch. In fact, he did a nice job catching the ball in the backfield. He's a little more of an old school runner in my eyes. I thought that coming out. Volume guy, the more touches, the better things are going to get, coupled with a decent offensive line, and he's got a better than decent offensive line. And look, he was not happy for Zach Charbonnet. He was unhappy for Zach Charbonnet when he got hurt. But as a player, that worked perfectly into his strengths. Because now Helani becomes a spell guy, but you shoulder the load. That's who you are. You're that person. And look, you guys have been around the game a long time too. Have you ever met a really good running back who wants to turn down carries?
Nah, give me those touches.
I mean, that's who, to me, that's who Kenneth Walker is. Like if you're taking him on, you're saying you're our lead guy and you're going to touch it way more than anyone else. If I'm splitting time with him, I'm still getting a good ball player, but I'm not maximizing what I think I get out of it. Now, we all know what the flip side is. In today's NFL, you maximize a ball carrier, you might use him up pretty fast. Todd Gurley comes to mind.
Yeah, and I've been trying to figure out, all right, what do you do if you don't get Ken Walker? Obviously, I've been preaching for 2-3 weeks that it's not going down. Ken's gone. All right, so what do? You have guys like Etienne, you have Algier, who are available, and then all the experts I speak to when it comes to the draft, that this isn't a great running back draft. It's Love, and then everyone else is kind of lumped in there. What do you think the approach should be if the Hogs aren't able to sign Ken Walker?
Yeah, if I decide how you're going to run offense, I mean, first of all, let me ask you both, what's the forecast on Charbonnet in return? Because he got hurt so late in the season, right, the start of the playoffs. Are we talking about missing time going into next year?
I'm assuming mid-season.
Yeah, so that's that's your starting point, right? So let's say you have no Walker, no Charbonnet, Helani's around, not sure what you're doing elsewhere in terms of all that. Etienne is a back that is a full-time, three-down type of a back to me. You're talking about Etienne out of Jacksonville, correct?
Yeah.
He's that guy. Like, go back a couple of seasons when it looked like they were on the verge under Doug Peterson, and then go ahead and look at what he did this year. When you utilize him fully in your offense, and he is a focal point, you're going to get runner, receiver, protector, mainly runner, receiver. Obviously, that's what you get mostly from these backs. And he's a guy who can stay on the field and give you really good play. Who's the other guy that you had mentioned there? Oh, Algier?
Yeah.
Algier, we don't really know, but I go back to my time frame with him at BYU. He's an absolute hammer. I mean, as you guys know, like, that's what he does. Like, give me the ball. I don't care if there's a hole there. I'll create one. I don't care if there's a body there. I'm going to run into it and try and run through it. I don't know that he is a full-time lead guy. I think he works really well in a duo situation where as the second guy, after you've gotten used to one speed and one way of doing it, this bowling ball comes running at you and off you go. Now, I know he would dispute that and say, I'm a full-time guy. Look at my BYU years. It just feels a little bit less of that with me. Plus, I have to also take into account, if you're being compared as a pass catcher next to Bijan Robinson, you're always going to come up way short. It doesn't matter how good you are at it, unless you're probably Christian McCaffrey. So that's what you get. That's what you're getting out of them, I think. Here's what I'm looking at. You're checking the free agent market if indeed Kenneth Walker's gone, and it sounds like that he is, right? So if he's gone, you're checking the free agent market, see what you have that fits. Who are you getting that's going to get you over the hump of Charbonnet not being around? Does Helani provide that as a backstop? Certainly appears that he has that potential to do so. And then you do look in the draft. I know that it is Jeremiah Price, and it seems like after that Chase. Jeremiah Love, excuse me. His teammate at Notre Dame, Jadarian Price, may be the number 2 back, and he was really impressive at the Combine. And you guys know better than anyone, the Combine is one piece. It's not the whole. But go back and watch his carries at Notre Dame. Watch him as a kick returner at Notre Dame. Really put together kid. I didn't realize how well put together he was until I was standing next to him down on the field. I'm like, oh, okay. This youngster's got something. I love the way he went through drills. And there will be other backs. Like Mike Washington coming out of Arkansas, got on everyone's radar with the 4.33. I would have loved to have seen him do the field drills. I would love to have seen him finish off the momentum he created that day. I actually spoke with him and said, hey, no field drills, nothing? He goes, no, my agent told me to shut it down. Okay. I mean, to each his own. Who am I to question? But if I'm Mike Washington Jr. coming from Arkansas via Buffalo, and I think, what was it, New Mexico State or somewhere before that, I might want to ride that wave right here, right now. Let's go. Show everyone what you've got. Now he'll get to do it at his pro day. But there are plenty of other backs. What are you going to get going forward? What was Kenneth Walker? He was a second-round guy, right? So that's what you're going to see that's out there.
Bump and I had been kind of assuming that edge would be one of this team's kind of quiet biggest needs heading into the class. How's that class look like?
Edge is loaded, just a loaded class. Like, you take any of the big-time guys, the Daniel Jeremiahs, the Dane Bruglers, right, the Jordan Reeds, the Matt Millers, all those who put together those lists of top 50, top 100, whatever, go through their list and just start counting edges. Okay, and don't make it a drinking game because you'll be hammered before it's over, okay? There are edges all the way through here. I'll put it to you this way. I'm looking at my colleague Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 that he put out right before the Combine began. The lowest rated edge is at 39. Our Mason Thomas at Oklahoma. Wow. The highest rated edge is at 3. David Bailey out of Texas Tech. Then you go Edge Bailey at 3, Arvell Reese at 4, who we know is going to convert to Edge at Ohio State. Then you get a Reuben Bain, Miami at 6. Then you get to, let's see here. Come on, give me another. Oh, Messidor, Miami at 20. Cassius Howell, Texas A&M, 21. I mean, it's just loaded with them. Keldrick Falk, Auburn, 28. T.J. Parker, Clemson, 32. Yeah, and then Mason Thomas, 39. Those are the edges. I haven't even thrown in the interior defensive linemen. Right. The Lee Hunters, the Peter Woods, the Caden McDonalds, the Caleb Banks. It's a loaded defensive front draft.
Yeah, I loved watching the draft. I especially like watching the D linemen and edge guys kind of perform. To me, they're probably the most athletic dudes on the football field. But I was kind of disappointed because, like you mentioned, a lot of players just aren't doing all the drills, right? Agents are telling them to shut it down. How do you feel about that? Do you think the Combine needs to change something about the process, or do you think this is just how it's going to be?
Unfortunately, Bump, look, I'm old school. Okay, you show up, let's go to work, right? Yeah. By the way, the dates were on your calendar, so it's not like this is a surprise. Oh, is that this week? No. Okay, the dates are there. You know they're coming. If you're healthy, why not go and show what you've got? Because to me, I want to do it all at the Combine because the pro day serves as my get-out-of-jail-free card day. What if I don't have a good day? What if my biorhythms are off? What if something just isn't right that day, right? We've all had those days, where it just doesn't quite feel, or you feel like you're a little sluggish. Or Joe Hayden, remember him, the great corner?
Yep.
With Cleveland and Pittsburgh? He was supposed to be the number one corner coming out his year, if I remember correctly. And he was supposed to be, super fast, the whole deal. Joe ran like he literally fell out of bed that day and was running in slippers. Like we were all just like, well, wait, what? Is that Joe Hayden? Like, if any mortal would be thrilled with what he did. But for Joe Hayden, we were all in shock. Like, wow, he looked slow. He looked sluggish. Everything just wasn't going right, the whole deal. He goes back 3 weeks later at Florida, and Florida runs their pro day in their stadium on natural grass, not turf. And he runs like 4.36 on natural grass. And Bump, you remember a lot of teams, if you run on grass versus turf, right, they do that little adjustment about if you do that on grass, the adjustment is if he ran 4.36, it's more like 4.34.
Yeah.
Right? They give you 4.35, 4.34. And he went through his drills like a champ and reasserted himself. That's my long way of saying, if I have a chance to work out at the combine and knock this stuff out and show the world, why not? And we did have guys who did. Jeremiah Love, stunning. Didn't need to do a thing, right? Did everything. David Bailey, the edge from Texas Tech, didn't need to really do anything. Did everything. Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Ohio State, came in and said, yeah, we're here. Let's do this thing. And blew it out. Someone told me before I left that roughly 37% of the guys work out at the combine, which is a number that is really low. You did ask the question, what can be done? I don't know that anything can be done at this stage. This is a time of player empowerment where the guys are getting to exercise it way better than it did when we were running around, especially when I was running around. There was no player empowerment. Okay, you did what the coach said, when he said, and how he said it. Otherwise, you could be gone. That's not how it is now. But I would like to see more of them do it there, and then go back to their pro day and either clean things up or just say, "Listen, I stand on my times. I had a really good week."
On kind of a related note about what's changed with the combine, Bump and I yesterday were talking about, hey, how are kids going into the combine or these young men entering the league? What more are they bringing that guys in previous iterations might have missed out on? And Bump was answering in terms of like, hey, there's this perception from, let's say, a sports radio listener named Joe that, these kids are entitled. They get these NIL deals. They're coming in, whatever. And it's like, well, wait a minute. They're coming in with an entirely new set of tools that could actually really help them. And they might be more professional. And So how are you seeing like today's athlete entering the NFL draft different? Like, what's the profile of positives, and is there anything that they're missing out on?
I think the positives are stacking, on the side of favorable. The more that you stay in school, like this NIL era, obviously old people like me are like, oh my God, I was born way too early, that sort of deal. Wish I could have got some of that. But what it does is allows a lot of kids to stay in school, which means you get more play time, which you get more time on task, which means you get more experience. You get Brock Purdy with 46 starts. You get Bo Nix with 61 starts just at the quarterback position. You also get the kid that had to come out before because his family was hurting so badly, he had to make money for his family. And everybody's like, no, son, one more year. Coach, I can't. I got to go now. And then they don't get drafted high, or they go undrafted, or they're drafted lower and their contract isn't as great as it could have been. You see what I mean? And then they don't stay in the league long enough, where if they had the chance to stay one more year, apply some polish, they have a better chance for success down the road, and they can take care of the family. Well, the family's getting taken care of now in a lot of ways through NIL. But I also don't want people to think every kid walking around there is popping $1 million in their pocket from NIL. They're not. There are a good number of kids who are walking around that maybe have an NIL with their local sandwich shop. I mean, I don't look down my nose at it. I'm just saying every kid isn't making a ton of money. But the players that we're talking about have a good chance of doing that. And oftentimes they can go back to school, play another year, and you get a better prepared kid coming out. The other part is they're way more worldly. Way more worldly. Look, when I graduated high school in 1982, a big deal to us was to play. We were in Ulster County, New York. If we went and played a team in Orange County, New York, we're like, that's a big trip. These kids, we're watching them play on television weekly. And many of the teams are flying from one place to another, right? Especially those early season matchups. You know, team from California versus team from Florida, and they're playing in Georgia. I mean, and they go to camp together. And because of that, when I was a kid, if you wanted to stay in touch, you often had to write to somebody, okay? Or you had to call, and your parents were like, how much is that call? Now you just text with each other. So they become friends quickly. They almost become like the NBA when they start putting together those super teams. Yo, I'm going to UW. Let's go all do this together. This is going to be the spot. Let's go. And you collectively do those sorts of things. So I just think you get a much more worldly kid who understands things, who's had a camera in his face for a long time, who knows what media attention is, who manipulates the media for their own purposes. All those things are good and positives for them. I think we've lost some of that innocence. But then again, how innocent were we really when the money was under the table as opposed to on top of it?
NFL Network's Charles Davis, kind enough to join us and tell you everything you need to know about the Combine. Thanks, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You take care of yourselves, okay?
You too. Have a good one. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What's a misconception of K9?
That he's always hurt. He's not available. Like, why would you invest in K9? Out of 58 games, he's missed 8. 13%. So take probably the best running back in the game right now. You can go Jonathan Taylor, right? In the same span that K9 has been in the league, Jonathan Taylor has missed 30% of the games. I say that not to compare K9 to Jonathan Taylor because I feel like he's another level, but that's just the running back position. I think James Cook is the only one who's in like the top 5 who hasn't missed more than like 6 games. This just happens at the running back spot. It's happened to D. Henry. It's happened to Christian McCaffrey. It's happened to any running back that you can think of that was in the league the last 20 years. They miss ball games. And that's something we keep seeing on the text lines is that, look, hey, he's always hurt. He's always hurt. There was one season where he missed 6 games. Other than that, it's like 1 here, 1 there, 1 there. And then you add the 6 to that one season. So I think it's not fair to label him that way. I understand people's concerns, but I would advise you just to look at everybody. All right, most running backs are going to miss ball games at some point of the season. It's rare they play all 17. And when you do, you feel like we did when the rotation didn't get hurt for the Mariners.
Yeah, I saw CJ Procise comp, and I was like, that one I think is...
Yeah,
I get what you're saying because you have an injury concern with this player, which is fair, but that's not even close in terms of their production value to a team, the amount of time they miss with injury. Second down. What position group do you feel will be even stronger next year?
I'm looking at the wideout group, and, you know, there's a possibility that Jake Bubble's not going to be there. Derek Young is a free agent as well. But if you were to get JSN, Cooper Kupp, and Horton back, that's a hell of a start. And you still can get Rashid Shaheed back. And when I look at the draft, there are some guys, some sneaky guys, man, in this draft. I think receiver is probably the most consistent position in the draft because there's so many of them. And from 5'9" to 6'5", you can get anything you want to out of this draft. But I look at a guy like Chris Bell out of Louisville, 6'2", about 225 pounds, 220 pounds, ran a 4.4. This is one of those guys that people on the West Coast probably don't really know about. But he reminds me, I called one of his games, my comp for him was a Deebo Samuel type of dude, but a bit more polished up than Deebo Samuel. I'm a guy that I think people should look at. Malachi Fields, a guy from Notre Dame. There are just so many solid wideouts in this draft, and because you're not looking for a number one, you're not looking for a DK or a JSM or someone to lead the charge, I think it's going to be easier for these guys to kind of replenish there if you don't get Bubble or Derek Young back. You got the addition of Horton, Cooper Kupp's going to be there. This draft is going to be good when it comes to wide receivers, as most of them are. You typically find 3 or 4 starters in the league and then a bunch of number 2s and 3s. So, yeah, I think the wideout position can come back even stronger next year.
Is that the position you see as having so many positions in football have evolved so much and are churning out so much great talent? Do you see wide receivers being maybe the most beneficial, like most NFL ready, most talent, NFL talent?
Yeah, because they've expanded the type of receiver that they want. When I was coming up, they wanted 6'3", 6'4", 210 pounds. I guess we'll take a slot. Now it's, even if you're my size, they're not even looking at you as just a slot. You can still be on the outside. You think guys like Antonio Brown for that, smaller guy playing on the outside. So, yeah, so the game has expanded, and I think coordinators are finding ways to use every type of body and not just a certain one.
Third down. Why do you think whatever's lost personnel-wise on the Seahawks defense can and will be replaced?
I'm not even worried about it. It's crazy. Like, I know it needs to be addressed. I know the edge needs to be addressed. I know that Reek is probably going to be gone. I know that you got to try to keep Kobe. I know that, Drake Thomas stepped up. It's because of all those names. It's because of Ty Okada. I think that they look at what they want defensively, and they know the type of guy that they're looking for. It's not a guessing game when it comes to the defense and what attributes they're looking for. I think the movement of Drake, the addition of Imamware, the uses of Witherspoon, bouncing Kobe around to different spots, they've shown that they understand how to use their players. So you're going to lose some guys on the defensive side. Will they have the same DVOA that they had this year? Probably not, right? It was a historic year for these guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But are they still going to be a solid defense? I think so, because a lot of the core pieces are going to be there, and I just trust that they know exactly what they're looking for in any position. Offensively, it's a bit different. You got to try to hit with the offensive line. Running back, you got to get lucky and hope that they develop. I think receivers a bit easier to kind of figure out what you want. But defensively, there's no position I look at and I think to myself, they don't know what type of player they need right there, or you got to get lucky. Defense is so reactive and positional, like setting my guys up and put them in the right spot. I think we're good. So it's going to be unfortunate to lose. The guys are going to lose, but I think the scout department and Mike McDonald will be just fine.
Fourth down. We were joined earlier this hour by NFL Network's Charles Davis. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, a couple things. One, he said the combine isn't a surprise. These guys know when the combine is, what drills are going to be doing, and it's unfortunate that a lot of guys aren't participating in the drills. And I like the way he described it. You set yourself up. If you come out during the combine and you don't hit the numbers that you want to hit, you have another opportunity to do it at your pro day. Instead, you're putting all your eggs in one basket in that pro day. And for quarterbacks, when it comes to throwing the football, I get it because you want to throw to your receivers. Like when I train receivers, if I haven't worked with you before, I'm learning your body language even when I'm throwing the football to you. If I worked with you for years, man, I close my eyes, I know where you're going to be. I get that. But as far as everyone else, I was training Afton Chisholm yesterday, and we were talking about, this morning, we were talking about him. And I'm like, man, what about all these guys not going to the combine? He said, for guys like me, smaller, D2 type of guys, you get this opportunity, you do everything. It's the high-profile guys who are saying, nah, I'm just going to wait till my pro day. And I think that's the wrong approach. I think you do as many drills as you can. If there's a drill you're just not good at, you don't want to do it, I get it. But he said Jeremiah Love went out there and did everything. And he's going to be the first running back taken off the board. And he went and did everything. We need to get back to that, man. I think anytime you have a chance to show the NFL what you can do, you should do it unless you're hurt or you're just not good at that drill and you need more time to practice. I don't think that's the case. I think guys are just focusing on the 40 and then moving on. That's why I think you combine the combine with senior day, run your 40, and then go practice, and we'll be good.
A big name is dealt a year-long suspension from MLB. That's next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
The madness tips off next week, and with it comes your chance to win the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 8th at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, courtesy of WSECU. Teachers are the real MVPs. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Russell Wilson appeared on the most recent edition of Bussin' with the Boys and was asked about firing back at Broncos head coach Sean Payton on social media. This after Payton took shots at him.
I don't say much. I never hardly ever say anything. I think there's a time and place. But sometimes you get fatigued of people talking about you. You just, like you mentioned, we're all human. But it's one thing for people that maybe aren't in the field, or aren't, people say bots or whatever, talking. Like I don't worry about that stuff. Like that never. But to me, when you've been in the ring, or you've been on the same side of this and that, and I got the same amount of rings as you got, meaning Sean. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him as a play caller, this and that. But to take a shot, I don't like. I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm not even on your own team anymore. So for me, I've realized I've stayed quiet for so long. There's a time and place where I'm not. For me, I know who I am as a competitor, as a warrior, as a champion too. I've beaten Sean too. Like we've been on the same place and same thing. And so it's not a matter of disrespect. Just don't disrespect me.
Say what you will about Russ. He's not wrong.
I ain't mad at that, Russ.
I thought that was totally fair.
He said I got just as many rings as you, dog.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I've beaten you.
And yours was in 2009.
Exactly. Like, so what are we talking about now, Russ? I think this is as normal as I've ever heard Russ sound.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, this is authentic. I mean, I think he's authentic in his own way, but this is more just I'm with the dudes. Like, all right, enough is enough. Like, come on, man. Let's be real about the situation. And Russ had one bad year in Denver. Like, his last year there, it wasn't that bad. Like, a lot of teams will take – I bet you the Cardinals would take that year out of Russ rather than what Kyler Murray has done the past couple years. So, Russell, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Clap back. Let Sean know what's up. But if he would have won this year, if Sean Payton would have won the Super Bowl this year, then would have been different.
He's really right, though, where it's like Russ gets a lot of flack. And to be fair, sometimes he's an easy target.
Yeah.
I've taken shots, too, right? Like, I think that he is the best quarterback Seattle has ever had. And I think he's also not super personable, like, hasn't, like, I get it. But I agree with him in that it's easy to ignore it when a random person, a bot or just a random person says something.
Yeah.
But there's an underlying level of respect, or at the very least understanding, that you expect from an NFL head coach, that you expect from another quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean? Where it's like, but you get these shots. You have people taking shots at you too. Why would you do that to me when I've done nothing? Like, you're just taking one at me for no reason.
Yeah, but if there's anyone who's going to take shots at players like that, it is Sean Payton.
Yes.
I don't think any other coach in the league would take shots the way that Sean Payton takes shots.
Yeah, it's weird. That was just it was clear day one he didn't like Russell Wilson. I don't know what was up behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on. But I think that disdain could have probably ended when Russ wasn't in the building. And instead he kept kind of making some sly comments. And it's not like Russ is even thriving.
Nah.
Russ has been benched in New York. I think you can lay off.
He's a backup now.
Yeah.
Why is he living rent free?
All right. Next up, could a mid-major school make it through the entire regular season undefeated, but be left out of the 68-team NCAA tourney? We may soon find out. Miami of Ohio is currently the only undefeated team in the country. They're 29-0 with 2 games left in the regular season, but they have one of the worst strength of schedules in all of college basketball. TNT analyst and former head coach Bruce Pearl thinks their resume just isn't enough and should be left out of the tournament if they lose just 1 game before Selection Sunday.
Miami, Ohio, here's the deal. Are we going to select the 68 most deserving teams, or are we going to select the 68 best teams? If we're selecting the 68 best teams, then Miami, Ohio is going to have to win their tournament to qualify as a champion, because as an at-large, they are not one of the best teams in the country, and that's going to be a difficult choice for the committee to make.
I mean, I get it, fair point.
Yeah, they're probably not. I'm looking at their schedule right now. No ranked opponents. No one even that most people even respect when it comes to their basketball programs.
Cupcake.
I understand that, but what's the criteria? And also, I think that it's easier to win the conference tournament than actual conference. So which one holds more importance to you? Is it the run that they made? Because they're beating all the teams that they're going to play in that conference tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But I think strength of schedule matters. I don't think you should be able to line up a cupcake schedule and make a run through it. If you know what your conference looks like, you go ahead and schedule some big boys that we can compare you to, right? Go get a Syracuse. Even if you lose by 25, 30 points, you're still going to be able to look at it and
Quality
say,
loss.
all right, let's use that as a measuring stick. So I think coach is on to something, but I think it's also unfair to the players, right? This falls on the AD and the coaches for not setting their schedule up. A senior's like, we're doing everything that we're asked to do, and we might not get in.
Mm-hmm.
Not fair for the players, but it's the management that set them up for failure here.
Now, fair to question whether Bruce Pearl has a rooting interest in Miami of Ohio losing, because his former team, Auburn, is sitting on the bubble right now and is coached by his son, Steven. Pearl was asked by FS1's Wake Up Barstool whether there's some nepotism going on.
Here's what Auburn's got to do. They're going to beat LSU at home, and they probably need to win their first round in the SEC tournament. They've got 5 quad one wins. They've got the best win in college basketball on the road at Florida as far as that margin. It's either the best or one of the best. So they got a little bit more work to do.
And then you're going to throw on your Ohio shirt, and you're going to be rooting for them in the tournament. And I'd love to be behind closed doors if you have to cast a vote, and it's Auburn or a one-loss Ohio team from the tournament, and see which way this vote goes, because I got a feeling I know which way it's going.
Mm-hmm. But there's no love of my son. I mean, there's no nepotism involved here.
All right.
I'm not in the
said
room.
it. There's no nepotism.
David, someday you'll give it to your son. Someday you'll give it to your son.
Not buying it?
Auburn is 15-14. 15-14. 11th in the SEC. All right. They've lost to Houston, who was ranked number 1. Michigan ranked number 7. Did beat St. John's. They were 14. I don't know what they are now. Lost to Arizona, who was 2. Georgia 23. Like, they've lost some games to some guys, right? But you also lost to Alabama, who ain't ranked. You lost to Mississippi State, who ain't ranked. You lost to Oklahoma, who ain't ranked. You lost to Ole Miss, who is not ranked. What are you talking about, Coach? What are you talking about? These guys got to win the tournament. You talking about dudes who need to win the tournament? And even if they do win the tournament, I'm still looking at their schedule and saying 15-14. All right, come on, man. Keep it real. I would have been like, heck yeah, man, that's my son. I'm going to support him 100%.
Sure. Just be honest about it. Let's get back to the point that you made about, hey, it's tough because you don't want to punish the players when this was really up to the AD and up to the school and scheduling. Miami of Ohio AD David Saylor also joined that same podcast, Wake Up Barstool, this morning, and he explained why his school scheduled their season, a very, very easy schedule, the way that they did.
We just need to be honest about what non-conference scheduling has become. It's really risk management. It's not competition. The current system incentivizes avoiding risk rather than rewarding competitive courage. Mm-hmm. And that's a shame for college basketball.
All right, so what he's saying is that, look, if we were to lose to a top 10 team, they're not going to say, hey, but they were scrappy. Mm-hmm. They're going to say, no, you can't compete with those guys, so let's not let them in. He obviously has a better perspective on how the committee does this whole thing. And if he feels that way, then obviously that schedule makes complete sense to him. You go ahead and line up the cupcakes and try to beat everybody. But I think that there needs to be a middle ground. And a loss in the beginning of the season shouldn't hold as much weight as a loss later on the season, because teams get better and things change. But if that's his thinking behind the schedule, then it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Well, and that's also not just a college basketball problem. We're seeing that now in college football. Teams are being de-incentivized to schedule great non-conference games, because if they lose that, that's your one shot to impress the selection committee to make the college football playoff.
Well, especially if the committee, and honestly, both cases, it's just going to look at its top SEC programs and go, okay, what argument can we use against this school threatening Bama, threatening Auburn, threatening whoever else to keep them out?
Right. Like and we're seeing it more and more how they want to expand the NCAA tournament to like 96 teams, and it's just more opportunities for them to put Power 4 conference teams in over the mid-majors. Mm-hmm. And so this mid-major AD is like, you know what? I'm not going to run any sort of risk. We're going to make it to the NCAA tournament with the easiest schedule possible, because you know what's most valuable to us? Those NCAA tournament shares that are equal to every school that makes the tournament. There's no weighted NCAA tournament share for an SEC team or a Big Ten team compared to, the MAC, where Miami of Ohio is in. Like, that is going to be the most important thing for that AD, is to get at least one of those NCAA tournament shares.
Is there some kind of risk in, and I know you look at a team, let's say that they win out and they're completely undefeated, I know that it sounds ridiculous to say, is there a risk in letting them in? But does that then make all those mid-market or mid-major schools start going, oh, we're going to just stack up? Like, we're going to game the system and try to get to the tourney this way.
Yeah, they got to play the game.
Yeah.
If this is the way the game is going to be played, you go ahead and do it. But here's the thing about basketball, though. One of these mid-majors can get in and win a couple games.
You get hot, yeah.
And college football, Toledo, what was it, Tulsa? Who got
Tulane.
in? Tulane,
Yeah.
thank you. Wrong T. Doesn't matter. No charity.
I really want to get to this because I teased with it. Atlanta Braves DH Dirksen Profar is facing a 162-game suspension from MLB after testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug for the second time. He is the first player to receive a full season suspension since, drumroll, Robinson Cano. That's right, in 2021.
Get him out of here. Did it twice. Go ahead and sit down, dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sit down. Hey, work on you got your cycle all jacked up. You're doing it too late. All right.
Yeah. You're not cheating right, man. You're simply not cheating right. All right. Still to come, we've got back to Mariners, back to baseball at noon with ESPN's David Schoenfield. Back to the NFL and Seahawks next.
Brock and Salk on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, how do you handle the knowledge that you guys are one of the best teams in the league right now?
This isn't a fun, cute story anymore. This is who we want to be. And if you want to get here and you want to do this, you have to have those expectations. We're not really focused on, can we do it? Or the hope factor. No, we know that we're good enough.
Catch every one of Brock and Salk's interviews from Mariners spring training on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. If you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact, if you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Don't miss the Seattle RV Show, March 12 through 15. Hundreds of new models and floor plans. RVs for every budget. RVs for every lifestyle. Special rates, incentives, exclusive prices, accessories. Tickets at SeattleRVShow.com. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 8th at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent, with 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels. There's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
Don't miss the all-sound plumbing Mariners Cactus League report. Tuesday nights at 6. Going inside Mariners camp on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Ooh, that face. Quantum fiber internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gauge Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back video calls.
Quantum fiber internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
In yesterday's MMQB, Albert Breer said the Raiders are looking to trade edge rusher Maxx Crosby and that trade could happen very soon. Mike Florio says the Raiders are looking for 2 first-rounders and a player, while Breer said the Raiders are, certainly looking for a nice return, but that they're not likely to get what the Cowboys got for Micah Parsons, who's much younger and was still on a rookie deal, though looking obviously for an extension. The Bears are a favorite to land him. Breer also mentioned the Cowboys, Rams, Patriots, and Bills as possible landing spots. You already know where we're going here. Why not the Seahawks?
All right, what are you going to want? What are they going to want for Maxx Crosby?
At least one first.
One first rounder.
With maybe 2, though Breer wonders if they could get 2.
You think they want a 32nd pick in the first round?
Nope.
Probably not, right? So you and I were talking off air, and they're probably going to want something in 2027, banking that the Hawks aren't going to go to the Super Bowl and win that thing and have a pick maybe in the teens or the 20s. Would I be willing to give that up, next year's number 1 pick? I'm intrigued by it. I'm definitely intrigued by it, especially because I feel like Boye Mafe is not going to be here. Derek Hall is going to have to get re-signed. Imagine Maxx Crosby on that defensive line with Jay Reed, with Leo, with Murphy, with Derek Hall on the other side. It looks good. It looks real good. And because they're not asking for this year's first-round pick, which makes me more intrigued. I mean, like, if we had the number 18 pick in the draft like last year and needed an offensive lineman, I would have been like, heck no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But I am listening now. At first, when we were starting talking about it off air, I'm like, nah, no way I'm doing that. But then
In a couple minutes, you're like, now that I'm sitting on this.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I would definitely entertain this situation.
Well, I may be adding to your argument. Tom Pelissero says, look, the market isn't great for top-tier edge rushers.
A few guys in free agency, but really a trade for Max, if you're not going to draft one, is probably your best way to get an elite type of pass rusher. Those guys just don't hit the market. So if I'm thinking, who would be the teams that would make sense for Maxx Crosby. Again, I think anybody who's a contender and has sufficient cap space or the ability to create it should be involved.
Contender, check. Sufficient cap space, check. Brian Nemhauser on with Brock and Salk talks about a potential price.
We know that they like him. We know that this is a position of high value. Why wouldn't they be involved? The only question is, what are they really willing to give up, and is it enough? If it's 2 firsts and Derek Hall, are you making that move?
Are you making that move?
2 firsts and Derek
Hall.
My man Crosby is what, 28?
I thought he was 29.
All right, with 20 or 29.
Either way.
2 first. Not this year's first.
So you're trading 27, and because if you trade too far out, that's not worth a first anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I might do it. Because what's the strongest part of this team is the defense, right? And we saw that defensive lines can win you championships. Defensive lines makes your secondary better, makes your linebackers better. Defense and run the dang ball. All right, if you were able to take care of this side with defense and then find yourself a running back, got to get lucky on that side because you don't really know what's going to be out there. Well, you do know what's going to be out there, but how are they going to perform? I might do it. I think, why not make the strongest part of your team that much stronger? And with experience. I love Derek Hall. I think he's full of potential. I think he's getting better and better. But this is a proven thing with that Maxx Crosby.
Do you find yourself balancing between, look, I get it. When you're giving up first-round picks anytime, even if it's 32, you're giving up building part of your future.
Mm-hmm.
However, you also have to take advantage of a window, right?
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's a good,
no, I think it's a strong
That's
point.
a good point guard right there.
Yeah.
Because when I firmly believe that you have 2 years to kind of win this thing again. Things can change and you could develop and re-sign Sam and do all these other things and stretch this thing out and try to be what the Chiefs have been and what the Patriots have been, which is a big ask. But in reality, you got like 2 years to try to get another one. And if you feel Maxx Crosby will contribute to that in a high clip, which I firmly believe, you might have to do this, man. Because you already have one of the, if not the best defensive line in the game. You put Crosby on that thing too, man, don't get any better than that other than Michael Parsons or Myles Garrett or Hendrickson. And Hendrickson's a bit older. He's in his 30s, I believe. So, yeah, man, I've convinced myself I think you have to do this if they want it.
What's the risk?
The risk is Crosby not living up to the potential.
Sure.
You losing your 2 first-round picks. And then when this 2 years is done, you're looking around saying, okay, how do we rebuild this whole thing?
Yeah, a couple questions for you from the 206. Didn't this season show you don't need a guy like Crosby, though?
Yeah. I mean, it's by committee. You have the most guys on the team with 7+ sacks, either the most or tied in the NFL with guys 7+ sacks. Yeah. But could you imagine being even more dominant? Having a guy who's going to get you 14, 15, and then sprinkle in the other 2 to 3, 7s, 8s? Man.
I think that's something. And furthermore, you pointed it out earlier in saying, like, hey, I don't know that they have that DVOA next year. I have no doubt that Mike McDonald is going to continue to be a brilliant play caller and that this defense is going to continue to be full of very talented players. You are not guaranteed that just because you're returning the same people that they're going to be fully healthy, that they're going to produce in the exact same way. Very good players are still capable of having down stretches of play, down years, whatever. Like, I think Julian Love's going to be fantastic. Are you guaranteed that Julian Love and every defensive back you bring back is going to be healthy all year long? No, they weren't this past year. You have to allow for some regression. And I think that any defensive coach, as long as the personality's right, like a guy's a culture fit, wants as much talent as possible.
It's all about talent. And I do think Derek Hall can develop and be a really good player. I already think he is a really good player. And I think the more room he has to grow, even better he can get. But if you're just looking at what you believe to be true right now when it comes to production, that man Maxx Crosby is something special. D Hall 2 sacks this year. Boye 2 sacks this year. You bring over Maxx Crosby, he's gonna get more than 4 sacks this year.
I have so many texts in about this. Let's get back to it at 12:45. Coming up next, talking Mariners with ESPN's David Schoenfield.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
John, looking at this Mariner team, who's the biggest competition in the American League?
Good question. I'll say this. There's no team in the American League whose chances to reach the World Series I like better than those of the Seattle Mariners. When you look at even just today, the way the lineup looks, Donovan, then Cal, then J-Rod, then Naylor.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale on no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Where's everyone going? To get their $15 St. Paddy's Day raffle ticket from Washington's Lottery before they're gone. With a $1 million grand prize and only 250,000 tickets available, you better go get yours today. Game on.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Seahawks are not expected to franchise tag Ken Walker. Today is the deadline for doing that. That would make him potentially the fourth player ever to win Super Bowl MVP and start the following season with a new team. Another running back was tagged, though, Breece Hall. The Jets hope to work out a long-term deal with their starter by the July deadline.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's David Schoenfield joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook hotline. David, how's it going?
I'm good. My dogs are barking in the background. Hope you don't hear that. They don't like when my phone rings.
No worries at all. We can't hear much of anything, so you're all good. But even if we could, I'm sure they're adorable. I'm going to start with, we have a lot to get to with the Mariners, but instead with the WBC, obviously we had a couple Mariners, Cal Raleigh obviously reporting the other day, so not at spring training now. And so I wanted to start by asking about your expectations for Team USA here. Can they win it all?
Yeah, look, they're the favorite, no doubt, although their WBC history isn't all that great. They did win in 2017, but I'm doing some research here. They only have the fifth best winning percentage in WBC history. So, look, it's a loaded team. You got Cal, you got Aaron Judge playing for the first time, Bryce Harper playing for the first time, a better pitching staff. So they are the favorite. But I think it's between them, Japan, and the Dominican Republic. It should be a great tournament once again.
I love these international tournaments because it's like you grab a bunch of pros and they just play together, right? Team USA hockey together 2 weeks, and they found a way to come together and win the gold. But I feel like in baseball it's different, right? You're not relying on your teammate as much as, say, hockey or basketball. How is the game different when you do play in these international tournaments?
Yeah, it's a little different because, it's early in spring training. So you're not really playing real baseball because the pitchers, there's even rules on how many pitches they can throw. But, yeah, as far as teamwork and all that, not as important in baseball. I mean, I think the key for the U.S. team, they've always had trouble getting premier pitchers to sign up. Understandable, right? In fact, the Mariners – 1 year they had traded in the offseason for a guy named Drew Smiley, a pretty good pitcher. And he pitched, I think it was in 2017, he pitched in that tournament. Or, it's early in spring training. He's throwing harder than he normally does, blows out his elbow, Tommy John surgery. He ends up never pitching for the Mariners. So that's why it's hard to recruit guys. But you got Logan Webb, you got Paul Skeens, you got Tarek Skubal, although he's only pitching one game. Mason Miller is going to probably be the closer. So they did a much better job this year recruiting pitchers. So I think that's why they're favorite. And Clayton Kershaw, one more chance to see him. He's on the team. That's fun.
Looking to Seattle, earlier this morning, we were talking about what makes us confident or perhaps leaves us feeling most encouraged that the Mariners could be even better than they were last year. And the reason I asked David is when I think of some of my favorite moments from the season, some of them feel lucky or improbable. And I think that takes away from a really sincerely good foundation this team has right now and maybe a real reason to believe they can improve. When you look at this team, do you see areas where you think they can improve and will, and what are those areas?
Yeah, I think there's two keys there. One, the starting rotation, which was fantastic in 2024. and had some injury issues last year. And, some guys hadn't pitched as well as they had previously in their career. Bryce Miller, great in the playoffs, but 5.68 ERA. George Kirby had some injury issues, 4.21 ERA. Logan Gilbert missed some time. So you can envision that perfect world where you get the starting rotation from 2024 and the offense from last year, and clearly envision more than 90 wins. I think the other key, we're seeing it early in spring training. It's only a few games, but Brendan Donovan, I think at the top of the order is going to be a real key addition. It kind of balances the lineup. Now you got Donovan leading off, Josh Naylor probably hitting cleanup. Two guys that are pretty good contact hitters. So you've eliminated some of those strikeouts from the top of the lineup. Yeah, Cal's going to strike out a lot. Julio's going to strike out. But now you got at least two of those guys who are putting the ball in play. And Josh Naylor, I think, hitting behind Donovan, Cal, and Julio, he's going to drive in a lot of runs this year. He's going to love batting cleanup in that lineup.
Hey, I love where the Mariners are at because of some of the things that you said, and there's young talent just waiting, right? And we do our show every day, and we're trying to figure out, okay, when are we going to see this guy? When are we going to see that guy? And yesterday, JP was a big conversation at shortstop. Obviously, Buster put out his list of top 10 shortstop. Didn't expect to see JP on that list, but fans are chomping at the bit. They want to see Emerson out there. And I'm like, hold on, man. You got a veteran in JP who's been there, who's done that. How do you think this whole thing unfolds?
No, look, JP's going to be the shortstop this year. Yeah, you can dig into some of the numbers. The range clearly isn't what it used to be. It's the former Gold Glove winner. He's lost a step or two on defense, but he bounced back last year from a poor 2024 when he had some injuries. He had a really nice offensive year. 352 on base, 3.8 WAR. That's a really good player. So no, Colt Emerson is either shortstop of the future. Absolutely. Is he the shortstop in 2026? No. JP's your guy. He's a solid veteran, clubhouse leader. He's your guy this year, no doubt about it.
Do you think, staying with that topic, in general, sometimes fans underestimate the gulf between being in the minor leagues and pros?
Yeah, and look, Colt Emerson, he hasn't played much, really, even above Class A ball. And as excited as we are about him, we know he's a top 10 overall prospect in the game, but that leap from the minor leagues to the majors is huge. I mean, you can go through history, this guy was a great prospect, this guy was a great prospect. Then they get to the majors, oh yeah, this is a whole different level of baseball. So even though Emerson, I think he's close to being ready, it makes sense. He needs some time in AAA. I know there's that incentive, right, to start him in the majors like they did with Julio when Julio won Rookie of the Year, and you get an extra first-round pick. So there is that incentive to push Emerson to the majors. But I think the safe thing to do, start him in the minors. You play Donovan at third. You play Cole Young at second, and you're fine with that infield. And if Emerson hits his way into the majors, proves he can dominate AAA, then he'll force his way into the lineup. But let's put the brakes on a little. He's 20 years old.
Please, and thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. Hey, this is the first time me and Stacy, 4 years we've been doing this show now, and this is the first time we're going into this season with real expectations, right? A few years ago, they tried to sell us that they had a World Series roster. We weren't buying it. But this one, it feels real. Even though you have the powers that be that spend $1 billion on their roster, you feel like the Mariners are able to compete. If you had one concern about the Mariners, what would it be, though?
Yeah, I think my one concern is that rotation depth. Look, if all five guys stay healthy, no problem. We know in this day and age that's not usually what happens. I'm optimistic about what I've seen from Cade Anderson. I know he has no minor league games, but he looks pretty polished. So I think that's helpful, that he might be that number 6 starter you might need if somebody gets hurt. I know Miller's having a few issues right now. Emerson Hancock, I think in the long run, he's a reliever. He's probably next thing. But it's just that rotation depth. You lose a couple guys and suddenly you're scrambling, and the Mariners aren't really deep there. So I think Cade Anderson might end up being a key guy in this season, because you're probably going to need another starter at some point.
I wanted to take a look around the AL West. I am so used to, understandably, just assuming that, like, okay, you have to get past Houston and, look out for the Astros. It's just been an absolute nightmare. How would you gauge kind of the strength of the division as a whole and kind of where the Mariners stack up within it?
Yeah, look, no doubt the Mariners are going to be the consensus favorite in that division, as they should be. Houston has lost a lot, but don't completely discount them, right? You never overlook the Astros. They made some moves. Like Yordan Alvarez only played like 50 games or something last year. So you add him back in that lineup. That's a huge addition for them. They'll have Carlos Correa for the full year. If he stays healthy, he's going to help. But, you lost Framber Valdez, right? That's a number one starter gone. You don't what's their issues in their pitching staff once you get past Hunter Brown are a big concern. So Mariners, clearly the favorite, as they should be. And to your point, Michael, a little different, when you are expected to win, right? As opposed to chasing the Astros. Now they're chasing you. Angels, forget them. They're not worth talking about. The Rangers, I don't see the Rangers. I think they're 500 again. I think the A's are kind of interesting. That's a really young, exciting lineup. Nick Kurtz is an absolute beast. If they get any pitching, they could be the surprise team because they're going to score a lot of runs.
Now, I was actually going to ask you about the A's because everything that I'm reading says they're a sneaky athletic team with a lot of young talent. What would they need to do, you think, to be in the mix?
Yeah, it's, look, you talk about the Mariners maybe wishing they'd spend a little more money. Imagine if the A's went out and signed a couple pitchers because you got Kurtz, you got Jacob Wilson, who hit 311 as a rookie, started the All-Star game. Brent Rooker's hit 30 home runs 3 years in a row. Tyler Soderstrom had a breakout year, 25 homers. Shea Langoliers, their catcher, hit 31 homers. They're going to score, no doubt about it. But the pitching, Luis Severino, I guess, is like your ace. Jeffrey Springs, these are number 4 kind of starters. So they just don't have that number 1 or 2 starter. And I don't know who their closer is. They traded Mason Miller to the Padres. They don't have a closer. So the pitching's probably going to hold them back, but you can sometimes you can luck into pitching, especially in the bullpen. So if that works, yeah, the A's they're a good sneaky pick.
I wanted to ask you just about Cal for this one. I understand that for many a non-Mariner fan, Cal not surpassing, let's say, 40 home runs would be a massive disappointment. Like, there's not a lot of worlds where Cal impresses even more people outside of Seattle. However, David, you know this team very well, and Cal well. Is there a world where he gives you a very impressive year without that insane home run total?
Yeah, look, I did a little research. Let's assume he's not a 60-homer guy. That's fair, right? He's not going to hit 60 again. Fair. And let's even say, okay, maybe he doesn't hit 50 again. So I did a little research. There have been, I think it was 24 players who hit 50-plus homers once in their career. So not including the McGuires and Sosas and those guys, just the guys who did it once. So the regression to their second highest career total is 13 fewer homers. So that still leaves Cal, if we're saying, well, he's going to do that average, hit 13 fewer homers, that's still 47. So that's my prediction for 2026, that Cal hits 47 home runs. I think Mariner fans will take that. That's still an MVP kind of season, right? And I think that's a realistic prediction. I think he's better than the 30-homer guy he was the last couple of years before last year. I think the changes he made are legit. My only concern or issue would be, is he going to play 159 games again? He played a lot last year, and I know some of those were at DH, but maybe sitting him now and then might make some sense just so he doesn't wear down. But I'm going 47 homers.
One of the, players I enjoy watching the most is Rosarena. I'll never forget that disrespectful at-bat he had. I think it was against the Rangers when he stepped out the box 3 straight pitches and then just hammered one into left, I believe. But that's like who he is. He's flashy, he's streaky. What kind of year do we need from him? Last year, it was up and down. But I believe that's just the type of player he is, right? He's going to K a lot, but he'll get hot. What do we need from Randy?
Yeah, well, he is who he is. He goes out there, he plays every game, 160 games last year. Going to hit you some homers, steal some bases. Yeah, the strikeouts can be a little frustrating, but he mixes in some walks, so he gets on base. I don't think he's going to be, I wouldn't say better or worse than last year. I think more of the same. He's in his prime. He's, 31? Yeah, he made the All-Star team last year, didn't he? You know, I don't know if he can do that again, but he's a good player. I like the fact that he's probably going to be hitting, fifth in the lineup rather than, at the top, because he has the power to drive in some runs. So, yeah, I think more of the same from him.
He is ESPN's David Schoenfield, kind enough to join us to help preview this Mariners season. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
Okay, anytime.
Have a good one. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, Cal Raleigh, fresh off a 60 home run season, is hitting 6th in today's Team USA exhibition against the San Francisco Giants. Game's going on right now, actually. USA up 2-0 in the first inning. What's the real headline?
Look, considering that Kyle Schwarber is hitting cleanup, I don't think I'd be too offended. Is anyone offended, actually, at all? We're watching Bregman up right now.
Initially, I was.
You were?
And then I remember who's on this team.
Yeah.
And it's and what we're fighting for. Okay? World dominance. This is what we're fighting for.
Curtis, this is live, right?
This is live.
So Cal's
yes.
next.
Yes, Aaron Judge with a 2-run single, scoring Bobby Witt and Bryce Harper.
What's he ever done?
Right. Yeah. Do you think they got the right order? I mean, they're only up 2-0 right now.
Exactly. No, I don't actually know.
Haven't made it out yet.
I don't actually know that anyone's really offended by that, like sincerely offended.
Nah. So they're favored to win this thing. Turn 2. Goodness gracious.
Of course, it was Bregman
Typical
making
Bregman.
the first out. What a bum! What a bum!
Get him off the team. No, this is obviously really cool. It's going to be fun to have even more of a rooting interest. I think it's very awesome how many Mariners are across all of these teams.
Yeah, we're deep, man. We got talent. What we got? What's 14?
They
17,
have to be.
17?
Yeah.
Are they among
are
the
most?
highest?
Them and the Mets are the most represented.
That's so cool.
That's wild. So let's go win a World Series, huh? Oh, look at that.
Headline rewrites.
Trying to not.
Headline number 2, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports Jake Bobo won't be tendered. That makes him an unrestricted free agent. What's the real headline?
Are we going to have more Bobo? I don't know. No. Missed opportunity.
Well, you did it.
Yeah.
It just didn't flow.
It wasn't my best.
It's all right.
It really wasn't. No, this team clearly loves Jake Bobo. Fans clearly love Jake Bobo, and he's been so important for special teams too. I was a little surprised.
No, I'm not.
I told you about that
Get it
sandwich
together.
bump. You didn't want to listen to me.
No, I just was eating fast so I could be ready for this segment. I'm not surprised because the league is full of Jake Bobos and Drake Youngs, like guys who are good enough to be on the team, who if you let them play, they're going to catch the football and run the right routes, but they just don't have that makes you want to not take them off the field.
Yeah.
They're good enough to ball. Jake Bobo got a touchdown. Drake Young had some big catches, big returns this season. They're not bad football players, but they're just like the tier 2 player. So, yeah, the league has more of these guys than the superstars.
I just want to be able to say what happened during the break, which was that Bump got a sandwich from the downstairs market. I've never seen anyone do it before. It might be the same sandwich that's been there for the 5 or 6 years
hasn't.
that I've been here. Are you positive?
I'll check the date. The date it was made. It was made 2 days
Matt,
ago.
have you ever seen anyone eat a sandwich from downstairs?
I've had to. It's not a pleasant experience.
Exactly.
That's tough. How dry was that? Are you feeling okay?
I feel great. I
That
got
was
that energy
brave
I
of
needed.
you.
I need that energy.
I would ask that question 3 hours from now. It's not immediate.
We're on Tummy Watch.
Yeah.
Tummy Watch.
Bump may or may not have stolen something from the fridge as well. We'll get to that in Hype Train. Oh, I warned him.
Straight blasting.
I warned him. I said, that's great because I need some Hype Train topics, so I'm going to make sure this gets in here. It's a good one.
It's dirty.
It's a good one, though.
Headline 3, the Atlanta Falcons, or the Falcones, will be the home team for the NFL's Madrid game in 2026, meaning the Seahawks will not be traveling to Spain. What's the real headline?
And to Bump, we say, lo siento.
Yeah, that's messed up. Looking to get more stamps to buy my passport, but whatever. Got 2 more chances. London and Mexico. You said Niners are playing in Mexico, right? We don't know the London team yet. Is it Jacksonville?
It's
Commanders? Yeah, you did say
Commanders.
Commanders. And we got them this year, right?
Mhm.
Come on, man.
That's a real possibility for you to go to London to watch the Seahawks take on the Commanders.
I would love that. Daniels is going to be back. Is Bobby back? He signed a 1-year deal, huh? They still working on Bobby?
I don't actually know.
I think TBD on Bobby.
I just want to go overseas, man. Hook me up. Selfishly, do it for me.
I think Bobby Wagner will come back because he's only like 50 tackles away from becoming the NFL's all-time leading tackler.
Right.
That
You gotta
seems
do
very
it.
doable.
It's absolutely doable for Bobby Wagner. Yes. I have no idea what to expect from the Commanders for heading into next year. They had so many injuries this past season. Like, they had some shakiness places,
Yeah.
but so many injuries.
Then Debo isn't what he used to be. Daniels obviously got injured playing us, right? Was it us?
Re-injured, but had
Re-injured, yeah.
been, yeah.
Yeah, the Commanders are tricky. You have that beautiful season, Daniels' rookie year, conference championship. I knew it was going to be hard to duplicate that, but in football, you got to get lucky. Injuries and depth, and that didn't help them.
What to you is the biggest enigma? The NFL team that's the biggest. Like, I have no idea what to expect from these guys in 2026.
Can Jacksonville do it again?
That's a good one.
'Cause they turned it around. Like, can they do it again? And how good are the Bears? Are they really the team that is? Did they win the division this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can they? Was that a fluke? Can you do it again? Is Caleb Williams really that guy? I think he is, but they got to prove it.
Those are good answers. I see Jacksonville and also the Chargers as being 2 teams that have some of the biggest variance for, like, this team it could go bad, or they could win their division. Tougher for the Chargers, a tougher task for the Chargers, but there's just a lot of variance there. Like, it's hard for me to see a world where the Seahawks win under 10 games. It's hard for me to fathom. You would have to have, injuries upon injuries, or it's just hard to have that kind of drop off from what was a very sincerely good team, a very, very good team.
Do the Chiefs bounce back?
Yeah. Does Mahomes
Yeah.
start the season?
When did he get hurt? All depends when he got hurt.
Was it before Christmas? Because remember, the Christmas slate was so bad.
Here, I'm gonna look at the stats.
Or was it
They'll
after?
tell me.
Yeah, it was before.
He played in 14 games.
So most of the season.
He'll be back. I don't think he'll start the season. It's different with quarterbacks, right? With a running back, you're like, nah, take your time. With a quarterback, stay in the pocket and do your thing. I don't think he starts the season, though.
I don't know either. I think Jacksonville will be right there at the top. Patriots are absolutely going to have some regression. No offense to the Patriots, but that's just going to happen. And frankly, maybe it happens for the Seahawks too. I don't know. In fact, we were talking about whether or not there would be any regression. Not regression, but just some slipping, some injuries, some whatever for the Seahawks defense. You're going to be losing a few guys to free agency that you're just not going to be able to keep. And with that being central to your identity and what you want to do, well, what's that mean? We're going to get back to at 12:45 whether or not the Seahawks should trade for Maxx Crosby. We got so many texts about that. You got a lot of people
they were
fired
not
up.
feeling it.
You got a lot of people
I'm
fired up.
convinced.
So, what I love most is that you were not and then became convinced, and now you're ready to fire back.
Yeah, let's get it.
So I've collected a few arguments against it, questions about it. That we're going to get to that at 12:45. If you want to keep chiming in on that, would you trade for Maxx Crosby? Let's assume it's 2 firsts and Derek Hall, like Brian Nemhauser said. Like, let's assume that that's your price point. Would you make that move? That's coming up at 12:45. You can text in 866-979-3776. Coming up at 1, getting back to what's giving us the most confidence in the Mariners this year and what we learned from ESPN's David Schoenfield. Hype train coming your way at 1:30. Should I not talk about the fridge decision?
Stitches.
Okay, I'll keep it off air. I'll keep it off air. And then what I need to know coming up at 1:45 could use your questions. 866-979-3776. Coming up next, taking a look around the NFL on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Brock and Salk at Mariners spring training.
With Julio Rodriguez, who sits down with us right now. How long did that loss, that linger for a day, a week, a month?
So once you get a taste of like that, what an actual playoff is, and you experience that as a team, I feel like you just get addicted to it. That gets addicting, at least for me, you know. And like being able to be so close to something so special as a group, I think it really made this team hungry.
Catch every one of Brock and Salk's interviews from Mariners spring training on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
What's up, it's Bump, and when I see daylight savings time on the calendar, I think of one thing. It is golf season. And if you're like me, more daylight time means more time to hit the links. I know a lot of you guys listening are counting down the work week until your tee time this weekend. I have a course for you to try. Loomis Trails in Blaine. It's a hidden gem ranked top 15 in the state by Golf Digest. It's challenging. It's fun. It is worth the trip. While you're there, make a weekend out of it and stay at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Unwind in a deluxe room. Grab a bite in one of their many restaurants. I prefer the steakhouse and the cantina. There's wall-to-wall sports. You can watch every single basketball game in March and have a lot of fun doing it. Hey, you can even get a little spa package for that special someone. Silver Reef Casino Resort. Head north on I-5 exit 260. I love it there. You're missing out if you've never been. If you have been, make sure you get up there this weekend. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. That's silverreefcasino.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
The madness tips off next week, and with it comes your chance to win the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Adam Schefter told Pat McAfee today he's very sure the Seahawks will sign one of the free agent running backs out of the market.
They're going to add one of these running backs in this market. Somebody's not going to get the deal that they want, and I don't know who it is, but one of these backs, these free agent backs, is going to wind up out in Seattle. I don't know whether that's Kenneth Gainwell or whether that's Tyler Algier. But, you know, take a look at some of these top free agents. There's a lot of good players.
Rico Dowdle.
ETN.
ETN has a chance to be a guy.
I'll bet one of these backs in the free agent class winds up out in Seattle and takes the spot that Kenneth Walker is vacating.
God love Pat McAfee, but sometimes that man is terrifying, just out of nowhere. Rico Dowdle! Like, my heart skipped a beat just a little bit. But yeah, I'd be interested in Rico Dowdle. And I like Adam Schefter saying absolutely they're going to hit up the free agent market and get one of these running backs.
All you would have to do is listen to our show for the past 2 weeks, and you would have known this already. We've been yelling it. Sorry I don't have 2.5 million followers. And when we say it, it falls on deaf ears outside of our region. We know this. They're going to. And if they don't, it's going to be because someone outbid them tremendously. They're going to kick all the tires of all the free agent running backs. They have to, and they're going to draft. You actually heard it here first, but we'll let Shefty break it to you.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the take that I've settled on with, like, I defend Ken Walker in that I think he's more valuable than some people assume, and I think he's less easily replaceable than some people assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think both those things are true. I also think that the Seahawks cannot rely only on their current in-house options. I just do not think that's possible. Those are the only things I push back on.
Yeah. No, you
not
need more.
paying Ken Walker $14 million per year, getting one of these guys instead. Yeah, I can get behind both of those things. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
And draft somebody.
The Bengals will not be tagging pass rusher Trey Hendrickson ahead of the 1 p.m. franchise tag deadline today. Hendrickson missed most of 2025 with a hip injury that did require surgery back in December. He had back-to-back 17.5 sack seasons, though, in 23 and 24. Would you want Trey Hendrickson here?
He's a bit older than Maxx Crosby. I think he's like 32 or something like that. I would look at it. I just like the younger option. So
fair.
actually, no, I wouldn't. That's what the younger option.
Fair. A surprise in Chicago, Pro Bowl center Drew Dahlman is retiring from the league at just 27 years old. He signed a 3-year, $42 million deal last offseason and started all 17 games for the Bears.
Oh, sorry. Please read that again to me.
Oh, sure. Okay. There was a surprise retirement in Chicago. Their starting center, Pro Bowl starting center, after just having signed a 3-year, $42 million deal last offseason and starting all 17 games, is retiring. He's just 27 years old.
Dang, that was my neck, my back. I'm hurt. My body hurts. Wifey wants me home. There has to be something. There's Either something physical, something mental going on, priorities. Who knows? But he's 27, so he's reached his second contract. So he's made himself a decent amount of money. Who else retired early like this? I know Andrew Luck did it early, but there was another one who was like in their 20s.
Linebacker Chris Borland, who retired after like a really good rookie season.
Yeah.
He was only like 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
I have no additional details from the column that I was looking at. It was just the Adam Schefter report. Curtis, have you seen anything about why he retired or if he released a statement? This
nothing.
Is relatively
just the reports from all the newsbreakers across the league. He didn't miss a single snap last year, which is pretty remarkable. But yeah, he's a Stanford guy. Spent 4 years in Atlanta, 1 in Chicago, but yeah, he's hanging it up at 27.
Yeah, it's just so crazy.
That's weird.
Well, I'm sure that we'll find out more details if there was a health thing or why he might be stepping away. But that news breaking, I don't know, like 45 minutes ago. The Colts are placing the transition tag on Daniel Jones. This from Diana Rossini. The transition tag gives Indy the option to match any offer sheet that Jones gets. Jones will make $37.8 million on that transition tag, but he can negotiate a long-term extension, much like getting franchise tagged. You have until, I believe, mid-July.
I think his best bet is to stay here. I mean, I don't think he might get an offer that exceeds that, but like you said, the Colts will have an opportunity to match it. I think his best bet is to stay there. You're in an offense that you understand. You have a run game that is going to be on point. I believe they just re-signed Pierce, your receiver over there that kind of got hot towards the end of the year. If I'm Daniel Jones, man, go where you have been wanted. You're good to go.
I added him on Fantasy Late. I thought that it would make my team special. What a season I had. Adam Schefter also gave a number of updates on ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike first, and this is one of the more fascinating stories to me. He thinks the Jets are going to try their hardest to trade for the number 1 overall pick.
I think that the Jets probably at some point will make a run to try to get that pick. I do think they'll try. I don't think they'll succeed, but I think they'll call up and be like, what would it take? Can we get it done? They have the ammunition. Last year, the Giants tried really hard to get up to number 1 to go get Cam Ward. And Tennessee wouldn't move off the pick. And I think that it's a similar situation this year with the Jets at 2 and the Raiders at 1. Sounds to me like the Raiders are pretty content and dug in. I don't expect them to move the number 1 pick, but the Jets certainly can try.
If you were where the Raiders are as an organization, which is bad and without a lot of answers, could anything entice you to move off that number 1 overall pick?
I ain't moving. I'm not moving. And
I'm not leaving.
And we're not leaving. And I'm trying to get my 2 first-rounders and some change out of Maxx Crosby so you can start building over there. You got Fernando Mendoza, who'll be mentored by Tom Brady. Now, I'm sure Tom loves this kid. I've heard him speak about Mendoza, his competitiveness and his accuracy, his decision-making. I think you got to stick with this. You do not trade that number 1 pick. And for Fernando's sake, do not trade this pick so he does not go to the dumpster fire, which is the Jersey Jets.
How much better are the Raiders right now?
A little bit.
Right? I'm like, okay, I do think it's better for Fernando's career that he go to the Raiders, but how much better is where I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, I think the leadership is better over there with the Raiders. I think that the potential is there. With the Jets, they've been this team for 15 years. Mm-hmm. The Raiders have at least had glimpses where they looked okay.
Later, Schefter thinks another disappointing season for the Bengals could spell the end of Joe Burrow in Cincinnati.
I expect Joe Burrow to be in Cincinnati, and then I think this year becomes a referendum on what he wants to do after this year. I think it's a year by year. I think if he's happy in Cincinnati, all is good. I think if there's another rocky year and there's more losing, all options are on the table.
This one is interesting to me, though, perhaps not shocking, because how many times did we have stories in NFL headlines or whatever it was this past season of Joe Burrow being just so ominous?
I'm not having fun.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was down bad in 2025. That was the theme of Cincinnati season.
You know why he wasn't having fun? Because he was successful in high school. He started off at Ohio State where they were balling. Then he goes to LSU, has probably the greatest college football season we've ever seen. Then you come to the NFL. You make it to a Super Bowl, your 2nd or 3rd year in the game. You think it's going to be easy. You say to yourself and the media, the Super Bowl window is always open when I'm here. And then the reality of being a Cincinnati Bengal kicks in, and this is who they've been for the majority of their existence, is this type of team. But I also think that maybe he put, what did he say? He put his foot in his mouth.
What?
And you never heard that saying?
Well, yes, but
Put your foot in
why?
your mouth.
Why
Because
did he do that?
Because you don't want to come out there and say that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to give the media too much.
I'm finding that
not
people are
having fun.
mostly on his side, though, because I think you look at Joe Burrow's season from 24, right, when he was like, from 24, where it was like, there's nothing else he could have done. There's nothing else he could have done. And it's like, it's one thing if you're out here complaining, oh, we didn't win a Super Bowl. It's like, okay, you didn't even make the playoffs because your defense
He
was
sounds
that bad.
like a whiny brat. I'm not having fun anymore. It's your job. You're getting paid $55 million, okay? Keep that stuff in-house. I'm not having fun anymore. Because you've had all this success, and now you hit adversity, and I'm not having fun
They
anymore.
also, sure, but they also can't build a defense at all, and that's not fun.
It's
It
not.
is not fun to be
It's
part of a
not.
team where you got to score 40
And you know
points
what he
to try
did?
to win games.
He said, pay Higgins. He said, pay Jamar. You got 3 guys on that team that take up 65% of your cap. Yeah, you're probably not going to have fun because all the money's going to you and your skill guys. I get it. You're not having fun.
Yeah.
But me, my leader, I'm like, man, keep that in-house.
1,000% keep it in-house. And he's not like outright saying it, but obviously this is getting out, right? Somewhere. So either his agent's talking to Schefter or someone's talking to
No,
someone.
he literally said it to the media at the podium.
Oh, saying like he's not
I'm
having
not
fun.
having fun.
Yeah.
It's like,
But he's not outright saying, I want to be traded, is what I'm saying.
Nah.
But clearly this is getting out. But I also don't blame him. Cincinnati is, they're not in the basement with the Jets, but they're also not in the top floor. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a team that you definitely look at and you go, you make some weird choices sometimes.
Yeah.
Really weird choices.
You gotta pay a defense. You gotta get a defense over there.
Or you got to draft a
Or you're
defense
gonna
and
keep
develop
not
a
having
defense.
fun.
Drafting and developing is also massively important. You can't just be like, oh, the money they should. I can already tell that there's a text like, oh, the money they spent on Joe, they could have spent on defense. Or you could draft better.
Or you could not pay 2 receivers
That too.
that amount.
That too.
There's multiple ways to do this.
Yeah.
They're just not doing it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, speaking of paying defense, should the Seahawks trade for Maxx Crosby? That's next.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike 3 called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
Goodbye, baseball!
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
join the Seattle Sports Commission for a star-studded fundraising event featuring the athletes and icons of Washington sports. Experience red carpet interviews, sports exhibits, a silent auction, and live awards show. Created for the sports community by the sports community, all while supporting the nonprofit power of Seattle sports. Don't miss your chance to be among the stars on March 13th at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year presented by Microsoft. Get your tickets now at seattlesports.org.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman speaking to those who have recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. It's important to know you have several options for treatment. I'm here with Dr. Meyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center, to talk about one of the best and technologically advanced treatment options, CyberKnife. Dr. Meyer, why is CyberKnife one of the best procedures to treat prostate cancer?
Well, treatment for prostate cancer can affect men's quality of life. It can affect their romantic life. It can affect their urine and bowel function. And the CyberKnife does the best job of preserving that function while having excellent cancer control rates.
What do your patients think of the CyberKnife treatment experience?
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. They report very few side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate or call 206-320-7187. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studios, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Multiple people reporting that the Raiders are going to deal Maxx Crosby. Albert Breer, the most prominent, also reporting that this could be imminent, as in, you know, before free agency kicks off, before things get a little chaotic, that if the Raiders are to deal Maxx Crosby, they want to know what they're working with and who they need to sign to replace him. So we're talking about, like, I don't know, in the next 10 or fewer days, Maxx Crosby could be traded. Should the Seahawks make the move? Brian Nemhauser, why are you laughing already? Because of listener responses?
Yeah, just
they're ready to
be talking out
ready
your
to go. Ready to go.
your
Okay.
booty sometimes. Y'all just be talking, man.
Okay.
Go look at the stats before you throw it out there.
Should the Seahawks trade for Maxx Crosby as to create like a baseline for this? I'm going to continue to use Brian Nemhauser saying 2 firsts and a player like Derek Hall as the price. So while we're debating it, while we're talking about it, if you want to chime in, pretend that that's what we're discussing right now.
Love me some Derek Hall.
Mm-hmm.
If he is here and this doesn't go down, I will be okay. I will be satisfied. First thing I saw on the text line, Stacy, was, why would we pay for Maxx Crosby? He's hurt all the time. My man ain't miss a game until 2024. Okay? In his whole career, my man has missed. And this year, they made him miss games this year. He was healthy and ready to play.
Yeah.
So we take that into account. He's missed 5 games his whole career.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
He's not injury prone. And he produces. Led the league in TFLs 2 years in a row. 12.5 sacks, 14.5 sacks, 10 sacks, 7.5, another 10. He had 10 last year, and they made him sit out the last 2 games. So that's false. He's not hurt often, and this year he could have played. The reason why I would do it or consider it is because you're getting a first-round talent, and you're giving your defense an opportunity to get even that much better. And we know if you can play some good defense and run the football, you're going to take pressure off of Sam Darnold, who we know is going to be here for at least 2 more years, and have this offense play with less stress. So the injury thing was false.
Okay, so I've got some listener responses for you. Someone said, I would not do the deal. The first priority of the Hawks defense was to stop the run. I don't think Crosby and the loss of Hall does that. Don't be fascinated with just a sack total.
I'm not. I'm fascinated with TFLs as well. I'm fascinated with quarterback pressures. The Seahawks didn't even lead the league in sacks, but them pressures, right? The quarterback hits, that was there. That is something that Crosby is one of the best in the league at doing.
206, I'd rather have a committee, so if one guy goes down, you have plenty of other guys that are capable.
Guess what? You got a committee. You got Max. You would have Max. You have Leo. You have Byron. You would have, who am I missing? Jay Reed. You would draft a guy, I feel like. You're essentially just replacing one guy, right? And we're seeing what Boye Mafe does as well, right? Still got a chin over there. You still got a committee.
Let's see. Stacey, your hair looks fire. Thank you. I wouldn't do it. This person says just a gut feeling. You know what? I'll allow it. Gut feeling.
You gotta go with your gut sometimes.
You don't have a lot. You have 4 draft picks this year. The pick number 32, one of the first rounders that you would be trading, would be exactly what you would use this year to try to acquire more picks. That leaves you with 3 draft picks. Undoubtedly, they would try to do something to acquire more, but that's an uncomfortable place to be in.
It is. I get it. I understand it.
206, too much money. It kills the rest of the team. We're a team. So what about the contract that you're inheriting?
It is. It is a lot of money for a great player who produces better than anyone that you have on this defensive line right now. Like right now, you insert him on this defensive line, he's the best defensive player on that line. Yeah, you got to pay for that. And that's where you lean into the Seahawks' ability to develop, to find those diamonds in the rough. Yes, you must pay for nice things.
I'm paraphrasing 2 points together, but they're both talking about the future. And it goes to your point about being in a Super Bowl window and kind of what you would do to take advantage of it. In trading draft picks, you're giving up replenishing with younger talent, and you're doing it for a player that within the next 2 years will be 30. Do you feel like you're sacrificing your future to try to get better right now?
How old is D-Law?
D-Law?
Yeah.
Was he 32?
32. You are definitely not making the future easy to build around. But like I've said, I look at this team, they have a 2-year window to try to win another one. And for me, you go all in at this position. At the running back spot, I get not going all in because the value just isn't there. But who are the players who get paid the most? It's DNs, it's quarterbacks, and wideouts, right? And wideouts probably affect the game the least, even though they kind of do have like the bigger moments. But consistently, it's quarterbacks and it's the guys who get the quarterbacks and the guys who protect the quarterbacks on the edge. There's a reason, because if you can be dominant in those positions, you're going to set your team up for success. I'm not spending my money. I'm spending the Seahawks money. If it was my money, I'm probably not going to do it. But I'm spending the Seahawks money. And I just respect Crosby's game that much that he enhances this. He makes it even easier for the back end when Reek's not there.
Yeah.
Or if Kobe Bryant's not there.
I don't know that I'm like fully comfortable with it. I'm also not a gambler, so just for what it's worth, I'm not a risk taker in general. And that's probably why I'm not comfortable with it. I think that Maxx Crosby is undeniably talented. I think he would make your defense better. And one thing that I want to caution, you are losing more pieces than you're probably comfortable with. You're not going to have Ken Walker. Who knows what receivers you may not come back with, Rashid Shaheed being one of them that you may not have. you may lose a couple defensive starters.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to say, oh, we can do without Ken Walker because the defense was so great, we don't even need the offense to be great. Well, hang on. What if your defense is missing a few pieces? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. I think that you don't want to make the assumption that you are bringing back exactly the same team. You are going to need to replenish. You are going to need to get insurance in the form of like really good players. You need to give yourself talent insurance.
Yeah.
To account for potentially a drop-off offensively or a brand new coordinator or things you're still going to have to iron out. Maxx Crosby does provide that.
He does. And we're assuming Mafe is going to be out of here, right?
Yeah,
and Hall would have to be part of that trade. I like what someone pointed out, too. Riley Mills as well, right? That's a young man who's been banged up all year, got his first sack last year. And if you watch him, there's potential there. Granted, it's on that 1 or 2 games that we got to really see him. But, it's impossible to keep everybody. It's impossible. Even if you were not going to get Maxx Crosby, if this wasn't even on the table, you're not going to keep everybody, right? People are going to be gone. So I'm thinking, all right, if some key pieces are going to be gone, Maxx Crosby is worth 2 players in my opinion. You know what I mean? So go ahead and get him. Does it affect what you can do money-wise? It does, but you pay for nice things.
Back to the Mariners coming up next. What's giving you the most confidence in the Mariners this year that they can improve on 2025? That's next.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Hey. That same Louisiana flavor y'all love about our chicken?
It's flawless.
Yeah, we did that to crispy Alaskan flounder and butterfly shrimp too. We just couldn't help ourselves. And we didn't stop there. You can add lemon pepper or garlic Parmesan rub to that shrimp. Now we only do seafood every so often, so you know what to expect.
Popeyes can't miss.
That's right. The seafood menu is back.
This is real fish.
At participating restaurants.
The madness tips off next week, and with it comes your chance to win the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Arizona Cardinals have informed Kyler Murray they plan to release him next Wednesday, the start of the new league year, this barring a trade between now and then. The Colts have placed the transition tag on quarterback Daniel Jones, which guarantees them the right to match any offer sheet he gets from interested teams. If he does stay in Indy on the tag, it's a one-year salary of $37.8 million, and the two sides could also agree to a long-term deal.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. What's giving you the most confidence in the Mariners this season? And I mean confidence that they can improve on last year. Bump, we spoke with David Schoenfield earlier in the show and asked him that same question because we had already kind of been chatting about it a little bit. This is what he said.
I think there's two keys there. One, the starting rotation, which was fantastic in 2024 and had some injury issues last year. And, you know, some guys hadn't pitched as well as they had previously in their career. Bryce Miller, great in the playoffs, but 5.68 ERA. George Kirby had some injury issues, 4.21 ERA. Logan Gilbert missed some time. So you can envision that perfect world where you get the starting rotation from 2024 and the offense from last year and clearly envision more than 90 wins.
Okay, so the Mariners' rotation health, which is right now, barring Miller, better than it was last year, gives him more confidence in thinking they can surpass 90 wins, their total from last year. What gives you confidence?
Same thing, that rotation. The additions that have been made with Donovan, Julio getting older and more mature. And I forgot who he spoke to, but he said he understands who he is in the batter's box, right? I feel like he got better with his chase rate to end the season. I'm not sure. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But at least the feeling that I got watching him was that he wasn't chasing as much as he used to. And I think that's going to be crucial. I think the profile of Cal Raleigh, like that does something to a team when you have a guy like Cal Raleigh. It boosts everyone's confidence. You feel like you got some dogs in the fight. The streakiness of Randy Rosarena, right? He's going to K a bunch, but when he's hot, he's going to be hot. He's going to be entertaining. Robles hardly played last year. The year before, when he was here, there was a stretch where he was the hottest player in the bigs. Like, there are everyone on this slide, at least 1 through 5, 1 through 6, everyone's had their moments. You're waiting on Donovan getting acclimated. Well, he's probably going to be one. You're waiting on the Rivas contributions. We're hearing he might make the squad this year. You're looking at Cole Young and seeing how he performs. But it's the profile of this team has been enhanced because of what they've done last year.
Yep.
And I think that with experience, guys like Julio understand what they need to get prepared for the season, and maybe he switches it up a bit and comes in hot.
David Schoenfield also looked at the top of the order.
I think the other key, we're seeing it early in spring training. It's only a few games. But Brendan Donovan, I think at the top of the order is going to be a real key addition. It kind of balances the lineup. Now you got Donovan leading off, Josh Naylor probably hitting cleanup. Two guys that are pretty good contact hitters. So you've eliminated some of those strikeouts from the top of the lineup. Yeah, Cal's going to strike out a lot. Julio's going to strike out. But now you got at least two of those guys who are putting the ball in play. And Josh Naylor, I think, hitting behind Donovan, Cal, and Julio, he's going to drive in a lot of runs this year. He's going to love batting cleanup in that lineup.
Curtis, that's where you found yourself looking when you, Bump, and I were talking about kind of what's giving us the most confidence that the Mariners can improve from, 90 wins to whatever it be in 2026. You immediately were looking at Josh Naylor in the top of that lineup. Curtis, is that what to you gives you the most confidence that the Mariners can improve?
Yeah, I mean, full season of Naylor, your top half of the order, as Schoenfield pointed out with us earlier in the show, that's a pretty deep top half, 1 through 5 in your lineup. And it's in a better starting point or a better starting spot than you were last opening day, where it was just kind of waiting on, maybe this guy bounces back. Maybe they can get something out of Rowdy Tellez. Like, I don't think we can emphasize enough how big of an improvement Josh Naylor is over Rowdy Tellez at first base.
It's so weird thinking about that. That feels like it was forever ago.
Who's Rowdy?
Big fella. Look like me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. That's how much I've moved on from.
God.
You see Rowdy Tellez every day, Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
A likable guy, but I can't believe that was even the same season. Hitting the ground with a team that you're much more confident in, that can not just hit for more contact, but genuinely is just more complete. The reason that I like this conversation is I think that for me, there were times when I looked at last year and I could see a team that like top 5 in home runs, like, pretty good at drawing walks, like a great second half ERA. Like there are certain things where it's like, okay, this backs up genuinely being in the playoffs. This makes sense. They didn't fall backwards into it. They were genuinely one of the best teams. Good for them. But then there were a couple moments that I thought, can you replicate that? Can you replicate Victor Robles' diving catch to seal that sweep over the Astros? Can you replicate Jorge Polanco getting an RBI single in, what was it, the 15th, 16th? I don't even remember, 17th inning? Right, like there were just certain moments where you're like, you have these memories forever, but this feels like chance or luck or good fortune or improbable stories. How can you replicate that? So I like looking at things.
We're just saying used to that here.
Exactly.
That's all it is. It happens all throughout the league.
I know,
but we just ain't used to this.
Right? So it's like I found myself when the season ended. I mean, I'm talking minutes after the season ended, but certainly in the following days going like, oh, can they get back here? How much of this was just, no pun intended, but the ball bouncing your way or something good happening? And so I liked being able to sit down now, months removed, and go, okay, what's genuinely better? What genuinely is better where it's, you don't have to depend on just luck. You've got this too.
Yeah, I think anything that happens in the outfield ain't luck. I think you have one of the most athletic outfields in the game.
You do.
And speaking of, we ain't even talked about Canzone. Right? Canzone had a game where he hit 2 or 3 bombs, I think. Like, what's his improvement like? Imagine if you get a little more out of Dom Canzone as well. Yeah, the possibilities are endless, man. I think that the ball did bounce your way last year. That has to happen for any team to make any type of run in this thing. You got to have some umps helping you out every now and then behind the plate. Hey, did you see that one umpire that got 5 challenges and I think like 3 or 4 out of the 5 were in the batter's favor? Like he got it wrong.
No.
It was the other day. It was I forgot what it was. Somebody showed it to me. Anyway, knowing that the umps have to eat those now, it's like goodness gracious.
You gotta go.
But it's about improvement, right? And I think because this team is not it's a team with veterans, but you wouldn't say that it's like an old type of veteran. It's like on the younger end, like you got Julio at 25.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume Randy's like 31, 32 years of age, and everything in between. You got Dom, who's in the mix. You got Cole Young, who's going to play a bit. Donovan is a little bit older, but it's like it feels like the good mix of young guys in the lineup, young potential mixed in with veterans who have been around the block a few times. Randy, who probably has the most postseason experience on this team right now, is going to come in handy too.
Yeah, I like, not to reiterate, but I do like the idea of your rotation, TBD on Bryce Miller, but being healthy heading into the season. And of like, you forget the impact that stuff has. Like, we asked Ryan Divish, hey, what was up with Logan last year? And he was like, yeah, he didn't love his slider all the time and the placement on it. But like when you're in and out of the lineup, or not the lineup, when you're in and out of the rotation, you're dealing with injuries and you're making your way back. Like there are just certain things that play into that. Like there are some mental hurdles too. So knowing that like George, as of right now, can hit the ground running and start the season, as opposed to getting back into it. And then you have to get into the swing of things and kind of acclimate. Like, that's massive. That is massive. What if the difference between 90 wins and, let's say, 94 is that you have Logan and or George and or Bryce back for an extra couple games that you missed them?
Yeah. It's important. I think you mentioned it already, but having Bryce to start the year, I think you can do without. I think you can stay afloat for a while, but if you do come out and you got all your dogs, right, you do the opening day, they run out from center field on the red carpet and set the tone that way, it's going to be awesome, man. But these guys have earned it. They've earned the expectations. They've earned the pressure, too, of being favorites to win the AL West and to make the playoffs and all that good stuff. But I think they can handle it because this group, like I think of this core group, they've experienced a lot. They've overachieved 1 year and then lose 3 miss it by 2 or 3 games the year after that, and then be in the mix and now make a run. Like they've been through the ups and downs of trying to build a championship team. So because the core guys are here, they can teach these younger guys. We heard Julio talking about, who's he talking about? Emerson. I called Emerson's approach to the game, how he's mature, he's confident, but he's humble. And obviously some of that comes naturally, but I think that also comes with being a part of an organization that has shown over the past few seasons that they're doing things right and moving in that right direction. So kind of just fall in line. End of the day, got to make contact, got to put it in play, got to have good pitching, and the rotation in the roster makes me believe that both are possible.
Like the idea the addition, of Donovan for that, obviously the health of the rotation. There are lots of baseball reasons I genuinely think that you could go, an extra couple, like going from, Curtis, I'm sorry to quote you again, but you talked about that it's so quietly difficult to go from 90 to like 95 or 90 to 96, that even though it's only a couple games, it's something that isn't given its due credit. So when I say 90 to 94, what I'm saying is like a genuinely better team.
Yeah, because 90 wins, you're kind of squeaking into the playoffs. And 95, 96, 97 wins, you're coasting the season's final couple of weeks to get there. And when I think of like a 96-win team, I think of like the Dodgers. And when you stack up the Dodgers to the Mariners, it does feel like there is a pretty significant gap between. Yeah, and it's funny, though, because you look at like how closely the Blue Jays played the Dodgers in the World Series, and the Mariners played the Blue Jays super close in the ALCS. So maybe the gap isn't that big, but like to go from what the Mariners have been the last 4 or 5 years, which is the most successful stretch they've ever had in their franchise's history, 90-plus win seasons in, 2 of those 4 years, 3 of those 4 years, what have you. But like, eventually you're going to have to get even more competitive and even more, of a tougher out than you've been. And I think this team is best equipped of any of the previous Mariner editions that we've seen under Jerry Dipoto. I think this team can absolutely compete for an American League pennant, whereas like the last couple of years, it's been like, maybe, they got a shot if they get there. They got a shot. They can make some noise. It's like, no, they can do this.
And now you've got the combination of real quantifiable things and then also intangible experience. You've got one of your best lineups. You've got a great rotation that is healthy entering the season. You've got a bullpen that you like. You have a coach that's got or a manager, that's got a little bit more experience. You've also got all of that, best catcher in baseball, best center fielder, and you came just shy of appearing in a World Series. And I know that that's heartbreaking, but that was also valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You felt what it took to get there.
Experience.
Yeah.
That's everything. I remember playing in my first college overtime against UCLA. Never been there before. Like, you practice the situation all the time, but you've never been there before. And I think twice we went to overtime UCLA. Second time around, it's like, okay, we understand it now. We get it. Even though we know the process, we were prepared. That first time, when you're in it, you don't know what it feels like until you're in it. So with these guys, like you said, I mean, they've felt this pressure before. They've had to come through with clutch hits. They've had to rely on the bottom of the order to get things done. They've had to rely on the bullpen to close things out. And, man, we haven't even mentioned the bullpen. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't even touched the bullpen yet. You still got probably one of the, if not the best relievers in the game, and Andres Munoz back there. And you added to that bullpen as well, added the lefty as well. So, yeah, it's they've done the necessary things. And it's weird to say that about this team because we're not used to saying that these guys did exactly what they were supposed to do. Donovan was a name that was connected to this team. Boom, you get Donovan. You enhance the bullpen. You got some youngsters in that bullpen that might be able to help eventually as well. So I feel good about it. When, like, man for man, on paper, are they as good as the guy spending $1 billion on their roster? No, but those $1 billion rosters still got to go out there and play and stay healthy and go through the season like everybody else. Yep. At the end of the day, all you want is an opportunity. And I think that if you can get healthy, the ball bounces your way, your rotation performs like it has been the past few years, and the bats get better, they'll be in the mix.
Okay, less important topic for like 1 minute because we're going to switch to 4-down territory and talk Seahawks and football here. A listener says, fairly, did you see the special offer that the St. Louis Cardinals have for the all-you-can-eat concessions?
No.
Yeah.
It starts at, this can't be right, Curtis, am I missing something?
$29
It starts at $29
for the day?
all-you-can-eat concessions.
The whole day.
There's no
That's
way.
crazy.
I think it includes your ticket, doesn't it?
There's no way.
That's nuts.
That's like the price of a decent buffet.
So I don't know. It's left field. I don't know how far out in left field, but those are the sections. So it's not like amazing seats. But yes, so that's your ticket, and it's $29 until the 8th inning.
I think that's when they shut down the concessions.
Oh, and in general. Okay, so yeah, all you can eat. Soda, hot dogs, chicken tenders, brats, nacho chips and cheese, French fries, popcorn, peanuts, kettle chips, ice cream cups. All you can eat for $29. I know I sound like I'm an ad for, whatever this partnership is, but I can't. I'm like, the math is, there's no way. There's no way they do
But you
this
can
for
only
more than
sit in a certain section?
Yeah, it's like two. So I'm sure they're going to sell out regularly. It's just a way they're going to, whatever those two sections are there in left field are going to be completely jam-packed.
That's how you get the parents with kids in the game.
Yeah, or college kids.
Yes. Well, and I mean, those are probably the fans that you need the most, young fans.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just the cost of these concessions, probably just face value. You're talking, if you bought one of each at a game, it's well over $100.
Bump. You could do the 999 challenge.
Doing
every inning.
Every inning. And we can just double up. Like, we can go get, because we can't go after we can go get you an extra beer and an extra dog for the 9th.
Okay.
Would you do the 999?
I'd give it a go.
What if the 4 of us all went to a game and did it?
I don't think Matthew would go.
Matt.
I don't think he'd go.
What about for the show?
If it's outside and I get to drink, I'll go.
Oh,
well, no,
that's
no.
key.
It's not get to.
You have to.
You also have to have 9 dogs.
I think the hardest part of that would be the 9 hot dogs. That's a lot.
I think we can do it.
I'd have to just prepare.
Yeah.
I have to train for this.
Yeah. We need to find a place where we can kind of like, maybe we watch it from the company suite so we can just sit down and kind of just like take a breather.
Yeah.
In between. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bump.
First down, what's a misconception of K9?
That he doesn't play in a lot of games, that he's always injured. We heard someone kind of point that out for Maxx Crosby as well. And I think that once someone misses a game or two in your mind, you just assume that that's what they do. Out of 58 games, he's missed 8. And for example, during the same time, Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in the league, he's missed 16 games. So he's missed more, but he doesn't really have that tag. But I get it, but that's just not true. And the 2 seasons where he was completely healthy, he went for over 1,000 yards. And even in the one last year, he still went for 905, So he's more productive than what people think. He also is 3rd in the league twice when it comes to explosive plays, so runs over 20 yards. I think that the negative plays that he has influences people, and they think that's who he is. There are always going to be running backs who get negative plays. The best in the game get negative plays. But when the run game has been such a struggle here in Seattle over the past few years, I think that people just get frustrated and like, just get downhill, get downhill. When he has the ability to make something out of nothing. So that's why he gets those negatives. But text lines keep popping up that he just gets hurt too much, and that just isn't really the case.
2nd down. What position group do you feel will be even stronger next year?
I'm looking at the wideouts, man. I think Torrey Horton is going to be good to go. You're going to have Cooper Kupp and JSN at minimum. You could have Rashid Shaheed as well. And then I think you are going to go to this draft. You're going to look for receivers. There's one receiver or several receivers that I like, man. Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State is nice with it. You got Lemon out of SC who's nice with it. Denzel Boston, UW, nice. Cornell Tabor, you're not going to get those guys. The guy I'm looking at is Chris Bell out of Louisville. I compare him to a Deebo Samuel, but more polished up when it comes to his route running. Another guy I like is the Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. He's a bigger receiver, 6'4", about 220 pounds. The receiver position in the draft, I think, is the most consistent when it comes to talent. You're going to be able to find a guy, even later rounds, that can contribute to a ball club. Now, this comes from owners and GMs kind of just expanding the way that they look at this position. You no longer need to be the tallest guy in the world to go out there and have success in this game. I mean, the 2nd-ranked receiver in this draft is 5'11". You know what I mean? You do have some 6'2", some 6'4", but you got some 6-footers, you got some 5'11s. It's just they're understanding how to use this position and attributes differently than back when I played. So, yeah, I think the wideout group can be a lot better.
3rd down. Why do you think that whatever is lost personnel-wise on the Hawks defense can and will be replaced?
Well, we're thinking the possibles that could be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant, Rick Woolen, Boya Mafe.
Maybe Josh Jobe,
maybe Jobe.
And then maybe D-Law if he retires.
Maybe D-Law. And those are big losses. Whether it's one, a couple, or all of them, they're big losses. But I think the way that McDonald and this staff were able to pivot every week when someone was out, when Kobe was out, when J Love was out, leads me to believe that they know the type of player they need for their system. Mike McDonald's been running the system for a long time now, has success with Baltimore, is obviously having success here, made the number 35 pick in the draft, one of the best. He didn't make him one of the best, but they drafted him there. He became one of the best defenders in the game. I just think that they're in their pocket. They understand themselves and what is needed. So if something were to change, which it will change, you never bring everyone back, but they'll be able to pivot. Mm-hmm. And they'll look in this draft and find some guys who can help, or maybe get some free agents who fit the bill and the mold and develop those guys. But I'm pretty confident.
4th down. Earlier in the show, we were joined by NFL Network's Charles Davis. Anything stand out from that conversation with Charles?
Yeah, we talked about the combine and the lack of participation. 37% of the guys participated in the combine. And a lot of dudes are just running their 40s and getting out of there. Maybe if you're a receiver, you do a couple of the ball drills, but they're staying away from the 3-cone and all that good stuff. And it's unfortunate because, and he said this, if you do that, then you put all your eggs in one basket on your pro day. And you can go out there and ball out on your pro day.
Sure.
But what if you go out in the combine, you figure some stuff out. Maybe this drill isn't working for you. Now you can go and correct things at your pro day. Or you just ball out at this deal and say, you know what, I'm good for the rest of the day. I'm not going to do anything at my pro day. Jeremiah Love, the best running back in the game right now, is going to be the first running back pick. Did everything. And I appreciate him for that. The positions that I see doing the most is D-line and offensive linemen. It's like they get it, and it makes sense, correct? Because I would assume they're one of the more competitive groups out there because, I mean, there's contact every single play between those two. Like, if you don't have that dog in, you cannot hide. I've seen receivers who are not dogs and can hide. I've seen DBs who are not dogs and can hide. The closer you get to that football, you can't hide. So it makes sense that the big boys were out there getting it. I appreciated it. I just wish that guys would take advantage of this because there are guys like me who didn't get invited to the combine. I would have loved to compete. I could have ran a 4.7. Like, so what? I was at this thing. I went and competed. So I get why they're doing it too. There's more leverage with the player now when it comes to the NFL. But just compete, man. I'd love to see it.
How fast was your 40?
4.4.
I bet I could match it.
From 20 yards, 25 yards, probably.
10?
Nah, 10. You're gonna have the fastest 40 of all time.
Yeah, it'll be really impressive. Okay, 20 yards. 20 yards.
25.
25.
Yeah.
I could definitely do sub 5.
Easy.
Easy. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Hype Train coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
John, looking at this Mariner team, who's the biggest competition in the American League?
Good question. I'll say this. There's no team in the American League whose chances to reach the World Series I like better than those of the Seattle Mariners. When you look at even just today, the way the lineup looks, Donovan, then Cal, then J-Rod, then Naylor.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would rather get my teeth drilled than go to a car dealership. But good news is that changed because of Wayscar Ford in Auburn. The first time I went out there, I was nervous. Just being at a car dealership brings pressure. I feel like I'm going to get ripped off or pressured to make a decision that day that I'm just not ready for. But instead, I felt immediately comfortable because there's absolutely no pressure at Wayscar Ford, period. And they back it up with a 5-day or 500-mile, 100% no questions asked money-back guarantee. Wayscar Ford is only going to sell you a car if you want to buy one. So if you want a low-pressure experience, Wayscar Ford in Auburn is where you need to go. By the way, they don't just have Fords, they have everything. Take it from me or check out their reviews. They have thousands of 5-star reviews you can buy with confidence. Wayscar Ford has been family-owned and operated in downtown Auburn for 103 years. And trust me, you don't stay in business that long by not taking care of people. See it for yourself at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
It took us 93 years to build this reputation, but it'll take just 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
You got it at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... Let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13, and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe, defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
The madness tips off next week, and with it comes your chance to win the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Dave Wyman here with Dr. Robert Meyer from Swedish Hospital. Dr. Meyer, tell us about the amazing results prostate cancer patients are getting with Swedish CyberKnife.
Well, at the Swedish CyberKnife, our patients are really satisfied with the experience. The treatment is very effective at eradicating the cancer, has minimal side effects, and we are seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later.
Find out more at swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15. Get your questions in 866-979-3776. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. It's going to sound like a bit of a repeat here, but I just like the topic. We were talking about whether the Seahawks should trade for Maxx Crosby. They have not been rumored to be linked to him. Not one of the several teams. You did? You did?
It's going through.
What do you mean?
Maxx Crosby. I'm just playing.
Oh.
I would have told you way before we got on there.
Scared, because you never know. The Seahawks should trade for Maxx Crosby. Is your first Hype Train?
Oh, man, look, I understand if they don't. I get it. And I understand people saying, oh, we don't want to gamble the future. What's that song? Right here.
Right now. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now.
That's what I'm talking about, man. 2-year window we got right now. The window can be extended. It can be propped it up. You know, back in the day, you know, I used to live in an old house. Yes. Yes. This is right now, baby. You go get Max. You spell it right with 2 X's. Okay? You bring them to Seattle. You give them the 2 rounds or 2 first rounders. And the player, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to disrespect that man. All right? Because if he's here, I want him here. But why not? You got 2 years. All right. 2 years. So I'm on that train, Matthew. There we go.
Home run. Roman Anthony for Team USA. Curtis. I feel like there's no following this. It's tough.
I mean,
the Seahawks should trade for Maxx Crosby. You can use the same music if you want.
Matt, keep that bed riding because we are boarding that train.
Let's go.
Yeah, they should trade for him. They should trade for every great player. I'm not going to say no to Maxx Crosby in a Seahawks uniform, even if it means having to give up a couple of first-rounders, if that's the asking price for him. So, yeah, bring in a all-pro 28-year-old pass rusher. I'm quite all right with that.
Matt, turn off the music. No, you guys are irresponsible. Turn off the. Thank you, Matt. No, absolutely. We don't have Maxx Crosby at home, but no. And I will turn this car around because we don't need to be spending one of 4 draft picks this year. One this year at 32, and then one next year in a better draft class. Now, when I'm not spending my money, do I want to do it? Yes. Yes, I do. But I am.
You're still not spending your money.
I am in a state of bundled nerves when it comes to this team, and I think that Maxx Crosby.
In there like that. Okay.
It would be really fun, but I think it's a gamble.
It's all a gamble. Life's a gamble.
See, this is why it's the dad show. You guys are hanging out. Of course, you guys both went to the casino and you spent your money on Maxx Crosby, and I wasn't invited.
Hey, I apologize for everyone that I messed with right now.
Yeah,
text lines are on me. My bad. I won't do that again.
What was it that I did when everyone got really mad? Remember?
You'll have to be a lot more specific.
Say, that's kind of every day.
Sorry. No, Maxx Crosby here would be cool, but I wanted to be different. What's next? Kyler Murray is going to be released, according to Adam Schefter, is going to be released by the Cardinals if there's no trade done between now and the start of the new league year next Wednesday. Kyler Murray, who presumably signs elsewhere as a free agent, will make the playoffs with his new team.
Oh, man. He's made the playoffs, twice with the Cardinals?
One time.
One time?
Had a horrible performance.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. Nah, man. I just don't think he's a leader. I just don't, man. And that quarterback spot, you got to inspire people. You got to make them want to believe in you. You got to make them want to follow you. And I don't think he does that, so I'm not on this train letting it go by. But I wish you the best, Kyler.
Kyler Murray makes the playoffs with his new team. Curtis?
It is really dependent on who that new team is. If it's the Jets, absolutely no way. There's no chance he's going to make the playoffs. If it's the Minnesota Vikings, I think there's a possibility they could find their way into the NFC playoffs. So I think if Kyler Murray ends up in Minnesota, yes. So we'll board this train. I think he has enough talent to get a team to the postseason. Now, do I expect them to advance far and make it to a Super Bowl? Probably not. But, yeah, I think he can get a team to the playoffs still.
Yes, because I think he's going to sign with the Vikings.
If he signs with the Vikings, then I'll buy a late ticket.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
And anyone else, no.
I agree. Next up. Someone not named Cal Raleigh will lead the Mariners in home runs.
I mean, California.
Cauliflower.
That's what my kids call him, California.
California.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, so we not 60. I'm gonna say he gets around. What I say, Curtis? 38. You said 37.
38. I said 37.
Okay. Nah, he's gonna lead. I think Julio gets about 30 of them things, and everyone else around 25. Nair gets around 20. Nah, I'm not on it.
Someone not named Cal Raleigh will lead the Mariners in home runs this year. You could take the field. I mean, that could be anyone not named Cal.
That's the field.
That is the
field.
Are you boarding?
Last time Cal Raleigh did not lead the Mariners in home runs, be 2023. You know who did that year?
No. Julio.
It was Julio, yeah. You don't need to think too hard.
Hesitate for a second.
It was Julio with 32 in 2023. I think it happens this year. I think Julio leads the Mariners in home runs in 2026. We're boarding this train. I don't think he's going to, lap Cal by any stretch of the imagination in terms of home runs, but I think both guys are challenging for 40 this year. So I think Julio can get there.
If you have Julio beating him, to me, that means Julio's getting minimum 40. I don't think Cal's getting 60.
I think they both end up in the high 30s.
I have a hard time seeing, barring injury, Cal. Because Cal was hitting between 30 and 35.
Already?
Before he had really sharpened both swings. Now, I mean, to me, that's a baseline. Base minimum 30 a year. Two guys with 40 bombs. No, I'm not boarding this train.
Championship.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Cal. Do I do this one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
go ahead and do it, Stacey.
Matt, hit the
Go ahead
button.
and do it. What'd you say? Push the button?
Yeah.
It's okay to use someone else's condiments from the work fridge.
Once. In a
You get
bind.
everyone at every office gets one time.
If you're in a bind, right?
Okay.
And say you have a sandwich and it's dry,
Sure.
and you just need a little
something.
A little sun on that thing.
Yeah.
Once.
Sure.
You go once.
Okay. Like a free pass.
I've done it. I've been here 4 years. I've done it once.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
one
didn't
time.
have to say that.
I don't care. You know? You already set it up. All right? You already set it up. So I'm just gonna own it. And I did it once today. Okay? But that's the only time I've ever done it.
Are we gonna say whose condiments?
No, we're not going that far.
No. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
We're not, and especially not because of the next hype train. It's okay to use someone else's condiments from the work fridge, Curtis.
I don't think I would ever do it. I'm a rule follower. If somebody's taped their name on a mustard bottle or something like that in a work fridge,
Yeah.
that doesn't belong to me. So
You're a liar, pants on
I'm
fire.
gonna let it go.
I am boarding this train. I'm not just doing it in solidarity.
Why? Because I come prepared with my lunch every day.
No, I've absolutely done this before. I've absolutely done this. I used coffee creamer that was not mine. But you're not going to drink all of that. First of all, you're not going to eat all of that like mayonnaise or ketchup or whatever it is. Now, if it's some like specialty, like if you got hot honey or something where I'm like, that's expensive, that's none of my business, I'm not touching it. Yeah, but if I look in the fridge and there's a bottle of ketchup, let's say, or a big thing of half and half, and I am taking the tiniest possible amount. You don't want to do it all the time. Like if you're finding that every day you're using this, you want to. But like if you do it one time, 2 times, you're not a bad person.
No, you just.
I know that people have done it to my stuff.
Here's the thing: if I had a condiment, anybody in this place, if you needed it, I'd be like, sure, go ahead and have some.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You know.
Someone called me a snitch. Next up, last up, it's not okay. This is from Matt, I'm assuming. It's not okay to call out a coworker on air.
I've been called out so many times in this piece. It's ridiculous.
That doesn't make it okay.
But you know what? I send it right back at y'all. So I'm gonna say it's okay. There's like an extent though. Like you can't. There's a line you can't cross though.
That's true.
But yeah, it's all in fun.
It's not okay to call out a coworker on air. Curtis.
I'm not boarding. I think there are certain times where it's necessary.
Yeah.
Look, it's like an intervention. Sometimes the hardest truths need to be put out in the open.
I think it's perfectly fine. Matt?
I want to board this one, but I can't. I mean,
Exactly.
I think I call people out on air more than anyone here.
Exactly.
It's like the main purpose of my job.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, text it now, 866-979-3776.
Brock and Salk on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal Raleigh, how do you handle the knowledge that you guys are one of the best teams in the league right now?
This isn't a fun, cute story anymore. This is who we want to be. And if you want to get here and you want to do this, you have to have those expectations. We're not really focused on, can we do it? Or the hope factor. Like, no, we know that we're good enough.
Catch every one of Brock and Salk's interviews from Mariners spring training on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
At 65 years old, Brian has a rather demanding hobby.
My biggest passion is snow skiing, and I ski between 70 and 80 days per year. And I ski instruct at a private resort in Montana.
Needless to say, that can be a bit tough on the joints.
When this knee started to bother me, I thought I'm doomed.
That's when Brian decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
If I did yard work or skied a few days in a row, I was fighting swelling and pain and no sleep and all sorts of problems, and that has absolutely gone away.
So are you back on the slopes?
I mean, I had a 14-day stretch with clients where I skied every day and had no problem. It was fine. It was just like, I felt like new.
So I'm guessing you would recommend this to others.
Oh, I already have. I've told everyone that'll listen.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's really, truly a miracle.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Join the Seattle Sports Commission for a star-studded fundraising event featuring the athletes and icons of Washington sports. Experience red carpet interviews, sports exhibits, a silent auction, and live awards show created for the sports community by the sports community, all while supporting the nonprofit power of Seattle sports. Don't miss your chance to be among the stars on March 13th at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year presented by Microsoft. Get your tickets now at seattlesports.org.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be two. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
The Madness tips off next week, and with it comes your chance to win the Seattle Sports Bracket Bucks, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Head to seattlesports.com/win to pre-register. Receive your bracket and compete for your shot at great prizes. The grand prize winner from the 64-team bracket will win $1,000 in Visa gift cards. But if your bracket is busted in the first round, we have other ways for you to play too. Register and find complete rules at seattlesports.com/win.
The nonprofit Puget Sound Senior Baseball League plays real baseball on the best fields. The season first tryout for adults ages 18 to 65 and older is this Sunday, March 8th at Hogan Park at Russell Road in Kent. With 10 divisions featuring different age and skill levels, there's room for almost every ball player, from ex-Little Leaguers to high school and even former college and pros. Get all the info at pssbl.com. That's pssbl.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know, 40-yard dash, Bump versus Stacy. Bump's in golf shoes carrying his clubs, and Stacy gets a 10-yard head start. Who wins?
Oh, I'm walking you down. I'm walking you down.
That's crazy. And I get a 10-yard head start.
And you get a 10-yard head
And you're in
start.
golf shoes and carrying
I mean, golf
clubs.
shoes don't really affect anything.
Okay,
but
so you're
the clubs,
carrying clubs.
Yeah.
That's really unfair. What I need to know, for $10,000 Bump, which challenge would you choose? The 999 challenge, 9 dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings, or a gallon of milk in an hour?
Damn.
You're probably throwing up either way.
It's easier to do the gallon of milk in an hour. I would feel like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 9 dogs. I can do
is.
9 beers in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But the dog is what.
You could do 9 beers and no.
Stacy,
I think the
have a
999 challenge is actually easier than a gallon of milk in an hour.
Yeah, a gallon of milk.
Your body has a natural gag reflex when it has that much dairy. Like, you're gonna throw up.
See, but with the glizzies though, I feel like I'm gonna throw up if I eat too many. Like with 3 glizzies.
But the glizzies are over 2.5, maybe 3 hours.
Man, see, the glizzies are gonna run through me.
I think you don't believe in yourself.
I just believe I can do. I mean, dairy's my jam though. I can do dairy.
Never heard anyone say dairy's my jam. Okay, I'm doing 999 for sure.
Stacey,
Gallon of milk
You're
in an
gonna
hour.
be drunk off of 3 beers.
Yes.
And we're at to carry you out with security.
Let's see. What I need to know. Question for Curtis. How did it feel being lied to by Seth Rollins?
To my face.
What'd he say?
So at the Super Bowl, I interviewed him and asked him if he was the masked man at the Royal Rumble, and he was like, no, I was not. And he was like, were you? And I was like, no, I couldn't have been. I'm not a wrestler. I was here in San Francisco. And he's like, doesn't sound like a strong enough alibi. And I was like, okay, but you're the wrestler here. And sure enough, he was the masked man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tough.
I've been had in a public forum, but I mean, he's so good at his job. I bought a hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, no, it couldn't have been him. He told me it wasn't.
I mean, look, he had to do it. It's not personal.
Yeah,
he still loves you.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's pro's pro.
What I need to know. My buddy in his mid-30s rolled up wearing a pair of Hokas.
That's those big padded running shoes.
They're big as heck.
I clowned him, claiming he's now officially crossed over into old man status. But am I wrong? Let me look these up.
Listen,
those look comfy.
I saw Big Ray was the first person I saw wearing those, and Big Ray's in his 50s. But then I saw this girl wearing them, and she's like 31.
So what if they're like cool now?
That's what I'm saying. They might be. I'm out the loop when it comes
I
to
think
that.
bulky
Young people like
shoes
weird
are
things.
kind of a fashion trend nowadays.
Yeah, it's kind of like my New Balances. New Balances are really cool now.
Yeah. You know, the young people be hating on Air Forces. Those are old man shoes. I go, hold on. You're wearing old man shoes with New Balances.
Because they associate it with millennials and older. So
Crazy.
now they wear stuff that like
But that
their parents
New
didn't
Balance?
wear. But that's what I'm saying.
That's
to
Gen
us,
X.
But to us, our parents or like maybe a little bit younger than them wore New Balances, but then now it's really cool again. The thing is that's going to hit Gen Z hard. Gen Alpha, the people that are kids now, are going to like everything that millennials had. And then all the stuff that Gen Z is making fun of millennials for is going to be cool again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Baggy pants. My son's wearing baggy jeans.
I'm
like,
wearing baggy jeans.
Look at that. Well, you're a girl. It's in for girls. But
Yeah,
for a
it's cool.
man of my age, I'm not wearing no baggy jeans.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Okay, I'm done looking at Hokas. I don't think you're wrong for making fun of your friend. I make fun of my friends all the time. It's just what you have to do. What I need to know. Someone said I give Stacy 4 beers before the carry out.
Maybe 4.
I think
She might not finish the 4th. I'm just going to be looking at her. She's going to be
to
cross-eyed.
4. I think
Like,
I
all right, it's
could
time to
do
get
it.
her. Call your sister. Call Sam.
What I need to know. Am I the butthead? At the baseball tournament last weekend, there was a group cracking pistachio shells and leaving them right behind the backstop. Am I wrong to tell them to pick it up? And their mom doesn't work here. Not all shells are created equal.
I feel like that is a common thing to do is leave shells at a baseball game.
But pistachio shells they don't like get flattened out the way sunflowers do.
Yeah, so they're harder to clean up then?
Yeah, well, people just step on them, make a bigger mess. Yeah.
So is this person in the wrong for saying your mom doesn't work here? Don't.
Leave that to Curtis.
Curtis.
I personally would not leave my pistachio shells laying around. I would try to dispose of them. Sunflower seeds, they just become part of nature. Sunflower seeds are meant to go in the ground.
It's decomposed and we're good.
What I need to know. I have a serious problem here. We're moving to New York City at the end of the month for an incredible career opportunity. But what do I do with the Mariners home games that won't start until like 9:30 p.m. or later? I can barely make it to 10 p.m. as is.
You ain't watching that. Don't even record it. 'Cause you're going to wake up in the morning and you'll know everything. It's just take the L, man.
Or take a nap.
Yeah, but you got to work in the next morning.
Yeah, you don't want to like take a nap just so you could get up to watch Mariners.
Yeah. Watch as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then go to sleep.
I would stay up until 11.
I'd say catch the first like 3 innings.
Yeah.
And if things are going good, then keep watching.
Man, that's tough.
Things are going bad, turn it off.
I don't know why anyone would dislike the West Coast for sports times.
Oh, no.
It's the best and it's not close. Like anytime I hear anyone say anything otherwise, I'm like, this is a problem I've never encountered. I'm sorry to this texter. This is a problem I've never encountered. And that's a pickle. That's a tough place to be in.
I've heard East Coast
There's no
people
equivalent here.
just be dumbfounded that our NFL watching day starts at 10 a.m. They're like,
that's
why
amazing.
would you watch a game that early? It's like, because it's great that early. And then it stretches out until about 8 p.m. when Sunday Night Football ends.
Yes.
And you still have a couple
and
hours
then you
left
watch
in your
your
day.
shows.
Yeah.
Sundays are absolutely perfect when the Seahawks don't play because from 10 to the end of Sunday Night Football, you are doing absolutely nothing but sitting on your couch, eating, watching football. And then you have time to watch HBO. It's an amazing thing.
HBO Max at that.
Yeah.
I always like to think of the board ops on the East Coast teams when they come west. So like Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays, where their workday starts at 10 p.m. and ends, I'm guessing, at like 2:30, 3 a.m., something like that, with a post-game show.
Yeah. Last one. What I need to know. What's the craziest or dumbest thing you did while sober that someone has probably asked, were you drunk when you did that?
Probably cliff jumping, man. That was scary. That was very, very scary.
What?
Yeah.
Cliff jumping?
I mean, like into a river or something. Like it's a high cliff, and you know.
So not even like a large body of water.
No. It was Snake River. It was huge.
Okay.
Like, you guys think I'm jumping in a freaking Snohomish River over there?
We got like a moving target here.
It's
I
like
don't feel
4
good about
feet
that.
deep.
I don't like that at all. My answer's nothing. I don't do that. Wyman and Bob coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
John, looking at this Mariner team, who's the biggest competition in the American League?
Good question. I'll say this. There's no team in the American League whose chances to reach the World Series I like better than those of the Seattle Mariners. When you look at even just today, the way the lineup looks, Donovan, then Cal, then J-Rod, then Naylor.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and they got some great entertainment coming through, like Hinder on April 4th, Pop 2000 Tour in August, and then, yes, Queensryche in October. All the info at snocasino.com. And while you're there, you got to check out the Falls Buffet, serving up all your favorites, prime rib every day, fresh pasta, delicious stir-fried pizzas, salad bar, dessert bar, the pies made every day. It is Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Where is everyone going? To get their $15 St. Patty's Day raffle ticket from Washington's Lottery before they're gone. With a $1 million grand prize and only 250,000 tickets available, you better go get yours today. Game on.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, seattlegolfshow.com.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Copstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures and followed the outcomes. They have the experience to know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD.